good evening and good afternoon, everyone. Welcome in. Happy Wednesday. It feels like it was just yesterday that I was like, happy Wednesday, halfway through the week. The week is going so quickly. I always find that January goes really quick. Good morning, welcome back. And Putzler, hey, Delirium, welcome in. Roselli, Tara, hello. Margot, who am I missing? Liz, welcome back. Delirium, how's everyone been? If you're lurking, if you're in chat and I haven't seen your message, give me a holler. If you're whatever time, space you are, if you're watching the VOD, we're having a great day. Sorry we're a little bit late. We're working on a big project behind the scenes, a secret project, and it's very consuming. And so we just had to kind of like do some kind of reply to some emails and stuff like that for that. And yes, it's very exciting, but very, you know, when it's kind of stressful but exciting, you kind of like, you got to turn your mindset of like making it good, you know, really fun. I'm really chuffed with it, but it's a lot, you know, harder than I was expecting. Happy dirty 30 months. Dang! Margot, you dirty. You dirty. Thank you very much for 30 months resub. Appreciate it. It's lovely to have you here. Part of the community as always. You're a ray of sunshine. So today, what we're doing on today's stream is we're gonna be starting with a chocolate peanut butter slice bar. Something, you know, it's kind of like, it's a take off the Mars bar slice, which a lot of you might not know. But you take a candy bar called a Mars bar, you melt it down, you mix it with rice bubbles or Rice Krispies, you freeze it, then make a coating of chocolate on top. So we're gonna take a version of that, but we're gonna do it with peanut butter. It's so easy, there's like 6 ingredients, and it's pretty yummy. It's really yummy. And it's not as bad, like it's not unhealthy to some degree because, you know, it's healthy-ish. We'll say it's a healthy-ish. We'll mark it as a healthy-ish. We've got Rice Krispies. We've got peanut butter. You can use whatever peanut butter you like. You know, something ideally with, you know, minimal sugar in it. We're gonna use a dark chocolate, like quite a dark chocolate topping, and then there's a little bit of butter and some salt. There's not a whole lot in it, so it's a nice snack when you're feeling like you want something sweet, but it's not terrible. We're gonna have some maple syrup instead, or honey, or you could use whatever you like. Agave if you want something like that. If you want like a nice liquid sweetener. All right, and then after that, we're gonna go into a 1-pot chicken. So it's a Tuscan chicken. So that means it's like a creamy base with heaps of garlic, of course, sun-dried tomatoes. We're gonna throw some spinach in there, and it's amazing dinner for you guys. It's lighter, it's quick, easy, and minimal dishes because it's using 1 pot. So we're gonna be showing you how to make that. It serves 4, uses 2 chicken breasts, but you can double it and use, if you find that you're a big eater in your family, usually Exceed and I share 1 chicken breast or between 2, but if you wanna add more, you can, you know, do the same recipe with 4 and serves 4 or 6 or whatever you want to do. Does that make sense? You can add more chicken and it serves more people. That's basically what I'm saying. And then I'm going to make a sheet cake towards the end of the stream because I need to do that for my secret project. So you can watch me do that on stream. It's nothing very exciting, but it's just, it's productive if I do it on stream because then I can work on something off stream and it's already baked, you know, working smarter, not harder. Yes, so peanut butter chocolate slice, Tuscan chicken, 1 pot Tuscan chicken, and then sheet cake. 3 little things. Hopefully it doesn't take us too long if we get busy talking and whatnot. Announcements, things I need to say. Discord, general channel, there is a form, a Google form. Some of you have already done the measurements already, but if you don't mind doing them again, or I can transcribe some of them, there is a weight. I can't believe that! Is it Discord? so good. He's so good, guys. There's that form. Holy shit. Things just work. You know, just had to say things and they work. The amazing team that we have, the mod team and Exceed, and the wonderful Casvelin has been helping me create a form, a Google Sheet with a form. So all you need to do, you can do it multiple times. Basically fill out the measurement, a weight measurement for a cup of flour, cup of sugar, brown sugar, corn flour, cornstarch. There's a few things in there, and we're just kind of trying to create some averages, just to kind of give me an idea on what results you guys are getting, but also an opportunity for me to show you the inconsistencies with cup volume measurement. That's also, basically it's like a double whammy. I can get some information for my own recipe creation, but then also show you how that you should be using metric all the time and not weight. All right, before we go into today's stream, let's go back to last time on. We did, oh my goodness, we did these spinach and cheese puffs. They look amazing. The Caesar salad is delicious as well. So these recipes will be eventually on the website. I have this project that we're working on at the moment, and it's gonna probably take the next 2 weeks. So I'm not promising recipes, and I shouldn't promise recipes at all in general, but I'm just letting you know that there's a lot going on behind the scenes, and there will be kind of maybe, you know, because last week I made the mistake of releasing 2 recipes in one day. I need to spread them out so that I can be more consistent with them. But that is the spinach and cheese puffs, and then the Caesar salad. Delicious. You can add chicken on that. It was really yummy. Big fan. Yeah, I love Caesar salad. I don't know about you. But then the gooey egg on top is delicious too. The spinach and cheese puffs, we use phyllo pastry. This is a little bit lighter than the last time we did it with puff pastry. And then we use a mixture of spinach, ricotta, and some feta in there as well with eggs. It's full of protein. It's a great snack. But also we refrigerated them, and then they were a great breakfast the next morning. They're full of protein and they're quite yummy, if I do say so myself. One cheeky bit, 3 subs, resubs, and gifted subs, 19 new people in the form of follows. Yes, it was a lovely stream. Now we're here on Wednesday. We're gonna do a deep dive into Discord, show you what the community has been cooking and eating. Keep posting. I'm loving the grocery shops. You guys finding when y'all find new products at your grocery stores, it really gives me a little bit of a boost, because I am a creature of habit sometimes, and I buy what I need for the menu next week, or like, you know, what we usually buy. So I love when you guys post new products that you found. Maybe if you don't even buy them, but they're of interest to you at the grocery store, then I go look for them, and then I try and grab them myself and try them out. I'm always loving to try, you know, new variations, new different like brands, different snack foods. So please keep it up. Keep me spending money. I love it. And what else? Something else that I needed to say. But anyway, we'll continue. Tell me about your week. It's Wednesday. What have y'all been up to? Who's struggling? No, who's going really well through their first week back at work? And who's loving it? I want to hear about that. Tell me who's back at work this week. And it's always a little bit slow getting back into it after the Christmas holiday break. And we've had a nice break from the weather. It's not been too hot the last 2 days, which is fantastic, because I know you'll hear me complaining about the heat in the next few months, because hopefully it usually ramps up, but this week is going to be cool. A person in a local community page posted their dad bought some honey down from his farm, so of course I had to get some, 1 kilo for $10. Nice. We had this huge conversation about honey last week, didn't we? And that spurred on the whole weights and measurements and things like that. The thing that, probably because it's from his farm, I don't know, but it should tell you kind of what type of honey it is. Like, that's what, like, I prefer when I'm looking at honey. And that's why a lot of people don't realize honey tastes different from which region you're in and the type of local trees. So the color, like the viscosity also changes as well. And it would give a good idea. Maybe it does say somewhere, 100% something Australian honey, product of the Hervey Bay, Queensland. I don't know. But next time you go and buy honey, check out the different variations and let me know what kind of variations are in your area. Like what type of trees, what type of pollen. Very common in our area is like Jarrah, Marri, sometimes Carry honey as well. Sam, local honey is always the best. Saw this on Instagram and had to give it a try. I bought the acai mix berry smoothie with whey protein isolate added. Nice, tastes nice, and one of the staff told me that acai berry is usually bitter, and in Brazil they use it with meat and dishes. Okay. When I was in Brazil, we would eat acai like Australians eat acai or Americans eat acai. Primarily, you would have it as like in a smoothie or in like an acai bowl. But the toppings were a little bit different. You would have granola and you would have condensed milk. I was gonna say condensado. Condensed milk. And then they would have this like strawberry syrup. Like, you know how like that, the only time I really have it, because I'm not a fan of strawberries and I don't really like anything strawberry flavored, but the strawberry sundae syrup, they put on acai and it's really, really good. Keeps a crunchy granola, so I used to love it. But I never knew that they put it in meat dishes. Interesting. The more you know. Beware, I made the mistake of not communicating my dinner plans, so they went as follows. Okay, I need to use ground beef and it needs to be a quick meal, so I'm gonna make my gom and tater tots. She said to her partner Jay, I ate most of the bread, there's 3 pieces left. Okay, I'm gonna make tacos. Sees the empty jar of salsa on the counter. Sorry, I ate for lunch. We don't have much here. We're having pasta. That's how I sometimes our food goes as well. It's like, I gotta make something. No, but I do it to myself. I'll use something on stream, even though that ingredient is bought and prepared for the stream like later in the week. I do it to myself. I have coffee and black licorice. Interesting. This looks good. So ground beef ravioli. Looks good, beware. I love that plate. It's a really nice plate. I love the intricate design. Very cool. Liz said, I'm going gluten-free and dairy-free again for health reasons. I stopped last year and definitely felt the negative effects from that. I do have to say the creamer I bought from my coffee was really good this morning. Hey. So what is the difference for someone that very doesn't know? What is the difference between oat creamer and oat milk? Is it like thicker? Because we don't have creamer in Australia, really, unless you get like the powdered one. That's the only one I can tell you that's available in Australia. We don't have those like Bailey's flavored or peppermint flavored creamers and things. We just use milk or cream. But we buy oat milk. So what's the difference between oat milk and oat creamer? Maybe more concentrated? The oatmeal cookie one. Silk. I think I've heard of the brand Silk before. Dairy-free creamer. Hey Google, what's the difference between oat milk and oat creamer?
On the website wildandwhelm.com, they say, oat milk is simply blending water and oats together and straining them to form a milk. Oat creamer is taking your oats and water and blending them with an oil that will emulsify. Bind something together that naturally does not mix, e.g. oil and water, in order to get a creamy consistency.
Okay. But most, from my understanding, most oat milks in Australia, majority of them have some type of oil in them to make that emulsification. And then if you get the barista one, I think that's more oil? I don't know. Who's an expert on non-dairy creamers? What have you heard? Throw me some ideas. Maybe it's not been fact checked, but tell me what you've heard. Because that's what I've been told is like the really healthy oat milks are the ones that are just milk and oats, but then they're the ones that separate and like split. So in order to bypass that and to prevent that, they add a little bit of oil. Let me just check. Let me go around here. Okay, so we have this one at the moment called Khalifa Farms oat milk. Okay. See you, Tuscan. It has UHT, so ultra high temperature. I think that's what it stands for. Oat milk with added calcium and vitamin D. So it's got oat milk, water, oats 10%, rapeseed oil, acidity regulator, dipotassium phosphate, love it. Are you like me when you read the ingredients like this, you're like, ugh, I don't know if that's good. It's got added calcium, sea salt, and vitamin D. Okay, making traces of soy and tree nuts. Made in Spain. I would have thought, it says Khalifa, I would have thought this is from California. Obviously not. Khalifa. Okay, so this has got rapeseed oil. It doesn't say how much. Interesting. I read ingredients. Yeah. It is good. But this one's Chobani. This is the plain Chobani. Because I prefer this one. I get this one that's on sale. This one has canola oil. It says water, whole grain oats, canola oil, potassium phosphate. That must be like a preservative. Calcium carbonate, tricalcium phosphate. Okay. Oh no, that's what's in the minerals. Okay. Sea salt thickener. It's got a thickener in it. Gellan gum. Okay, gellan gum. And vitamin A. Oh God. All right. So supposedly there's 4 servings per pack. Mine has sunflower oil. Okay. Does rapeseed oil sing when exposed to air? We use barista almond, froths well. It's 3.5% almonds. I think it's one of the higher almond values I've seen. Okay. I like almond milk is okay, but I prefer oat milk. But also, I prefer dairy milk, if I'm brutally honest. However, I have been thinking recently, because I get a really sore stomach from food, like a very sensitive stomach, that maybe I shouldn't be having dairy. But then I'm in the too hard basket. I really like dairy, and also don't want to check if I have any sensitivity. I should just cut it out. But then I'm like, oh, butter, cream, milk, But it's just like, maybe you shouldn't eat this. Maybe it's not good for you. Maybe your system doesn't like it. But it's just so good. I'm gonna live, I'll choose to live in pain or discomfort and enjoy my food. Just after I eat it, then feel the after effects later. Yeah, now I take those lactose pills when I have something like pizza. Oh, like because of the cheese on top? Yeah, okay. Interesting. I like oat milk in baking. It's so nutty and yum. I need to try that. But the other thing is oat milk is more expensive, and so I feel wasteful when I cook with oat milk because I feel as though dairy milk is cheaper. You know what I mean? It's like that really internal confliction, that internal conflict where you're like, one could be better for you. It's like, it's better for you, it's more work. One's more expensive, one's cheaper. And it's like, should I not? Yeah, like cheapest milk to buy your own cow. But then you have to feed it, and then you have to store it, and then you have to make it not make noise, and then you have to clean up after it, and yeah. Like, I like the idea of chickens, but someone told me, was it Kate, that I could have 12 chickens at my house? 12 is really too many, but then you have to clean up after them. And it's not a huge amount of work, but when you live in the city, you have to be really effective on how you clean up after it. Whereas like on the farm, you can clean up after the hay and everything, and then just dump it in another area of the farm, and like it'll take care of itself. Whereas like in a suburban area, you got to kind of like maintain the cleanliness and the smell and whatever. Whereas on the farm, you don't really care. It's a very different kettle of fish. Cheapest, not easiest, says Tara. Yeah, I agree. I prefer coconut milk in coffee, Cousin Mel. Think of the cosy lives. What a ridiculous name. What's a cosy live? What is a cosy live? Cosy live? Am I saying it? I feel like I'm saying it wrong. Some residential soil is high in heavy metals, so the chickens would pick up that and then you would eat it. Yeah, that's true. In our area, it's all limestone and sand. We're close to the beach, so it's a bit frustrating. But I wouldn't imagine heavy metals. The only thing that's in heavy metals is our water. We're getting someone to come out tomorrow to quote on the whole, like filtration of our house. And I'm interested if anyone has whole house filtration. It's like in our dishes, like our when we wash our dishes in the dishwasher, it's like a coating of like basically like calcium, like powder. And then anytime you wash something, like your sink, anything, you wipe over it, it's got like this film of minerals. And when you shower, like you get itchy. Like there's always something to spend your money on when you're an adult. And it's like no fun things. It's like making yourself not itchy anymore, or, you know, that your water tastes better. That you know, we've got our shutter thing getting installed next week, so that we have a dark room. Oh, that's soft water. Isn't that hard water? Hard water, right? Yeah. So we've got very hard water. So now we're looking at getting someone to like filter it. But you never know if you've never got, we're gonna get multiple quotes, but you don't wanna get ripped off and you don't know if it's effective. So I'm a bit nervous. Hard water, you need to demineralize your coffee machine, washer and dishwasher lots. Yep, I'm having this issue with my dishwasher at the moment. Like I have done a dishwasher cleaner like 3 times this week. If it's not minerals, it's like greasy, and I'm just over it. Spring chicken Benny. Oh, look at this. Toast crumb chicken, poached egg for lunch yesterday with hollandaise. Dang. What is this thing on the side? Is that garlic bread? That looks good, Roman. Yum. Benny, Eggs Benedict, in whatever form, is good any time of the day. Breakfast, lunch or dinner. I remember when I went to Perth, how strong the chlorine smell was in the water. Having a shower was like swimming in a public pool. Oh my God, I've got to tell you something about that. Oh my God, I've got to tell you something about that, the chlorine. If anyone's watched a video from Mark Rober, but let me just get through this. Dinner tonight, meatloaf, mashed red potatoes, yes, Lise, and roasted green beans, yes. Is that meatloaf chicken? Chicken meatloaf? Turkey? Looks good. Do you do sauce like gravy on top? I see a little bit of butter there. Looks good. Thank you, Liz. Thank you, everybody. So you know when you're taught as a kid about like chlorine smells, and that's like smells like a swimming pool? I was watching a really interesting video from Mark Rober maybe 2 weeks ago about chlorine and chemicals in a pool in a spa. He did this test and he put 2 tubs side by side and he put double strength chlorine in both of them and then the tiniest little bit of wee in one of them. And the thing is that chlorine doesn't have a smell. It's only when it reacts with wee, the urea in wee, that it makes a different compound, and that's what is the smell. Mind-blowing. So that's why swimming pools smell, and we say that smell is chlorine. It's not actually chlorine. You're doing a disservice against chlorine. It's actually pee. People peeing in the pools. Peeing in the pools. Interesting, yes. So if Perth smells like chlorine, you're saying that Perth smells like pee. Basically, I don't know. But go and watch the video. I'll maybe link it in Discord or something. Or someone, YouTube, Mark Rober, swimming pool pee. Must have been all the pee in the shower, maybe. Yeah, people peeing in the floor and it's not getting cleaned properly. No joke. And that's why, like I wouldn't say if you're clean, but it's only the smallest amount of pee as well. It's only like a tiny bit. So it's really hard to get that smell away. My mum and stepdad, they have a salt chlorine pool and that doesn't smell. But people at swimming pools are gross. Like kids, I've seen kids stand there in the middle of the walkway and just pee themselves. Like, because they think that they're wet and they just jump in the pool and wash it off or whatever. Like kids are gross. People are gross. So get your own bathtub and swim in that. Kids are gross in general. Pretty true, pretty true. All right, if you're just jumping in, coming on in, pull up a chair. We are making, okay, I would call it a slice, right? But I'm learning that a lot of Americans don't call it a slice, they call it bars. Is that something, am I missing something there with like my vernacular? We would call it like a Mars bar slice or a, like, on Friday, we're making lemon meringue slice, lemon meringue bars. What is a bar and what is a slice to you? Like candy bars, I understand that. It's like a candy, a lolly. Well, we'd say, I don't know if we have a name for it. Mars bar. I would never call it a candy bar. Yeah, would I? Or maybe I would. Chocolate bars. Yeah, chocolate bars. I would call it a chocolate bar. A chocolate bar and lollies. Lollies are like everything that doesn't have chocolate in it, and then you've got chocolate bars. Like, so you've got an Aero bar, it's a chocolate bar. You've got a Mars bar or a Snickers bar. But what I'm talking about is different. I'm talking about if you made, what am I thinking? Okay, brownies, for instance. And cookie dough, and made cookie dough in a pan and sliced it. Would you call them cookie slice or would you call it a cookie bar? Everything is a bar, alcohol bar? Oh, you mean talking about like a drinking where you go to the bar? Slice, triangle, bar, rectangular. What, Moosh? Bars. Okay, well, I'm going to show you how to make something and then we'll decide on the name. Because I've never understood I just thought that we call it slice and Americans call it bars. Like what was it the other day? Nars have 4 corners. Slices have 3. What? Slices have 3? If round, they are cookies. Yeah. Slices here, East Coast, Australia. Yeah. Those would be bar cookies. I've never heard of slice used here. Okay, so I'm gonna make something, you're gonna tell me what it is. To an Australian, the only bars would be chocolate bars and muesli bars, right? So, let me make something and we're gonna call it peanut butter slice. Because you slice it. It's basically, I think the idea with Australia, because we're very, logical, you get something, you slice it up and you call it a slice. But to an American, I'm assuming, or maybe a Canadian too, you slice it into bars, so they call it bars. Lemon meringue bars instead of lemon meringue slice. Okay? Hey Google, what's the difference between bars and slice?
Sorry, I don't have a way to compare those.
Do you guys, is there anything that you can think of as slice? Like, is there any dessert that you will be like, yeah, that's a slice? I'm just trying to think, maybe they're thicker, maybe if they're square, 4 corners. So you're telling me you would call, whoosh, is that like a slice of pizza? So you're telling me if I get a square and I cut it into triangles, you would call that a slice? 3 corners, 4 corners. There's a place that sells a treat that is layered graham cracker, chocolate bar, chocolate, etc., and it is triangle shaped. They still call it a bar? This is the issue. Morning, Commander Shepherd, by the way. This is my issue with recipes, is we can call them anything, but the problem is search engine optimization for the website. It's like, what are people writing into Google? Is what I like, and trying to figure it out. Like, if more people are calling it a bar, I'll call it a bar. And I'm sorry to Australians, but that's the unfortunate thing I have to do. So if there's 50 people searching for chocolate, chocolate peanut butter slice, but there's 100 people calling it a chocolate peanut butter bar, then I have to call it a bar because I want to reach those people. Or I create 2 recipes and one's a bar and one's a slice. I think bars are made in that shape, whereas a slice is made in a large block and then cut up. Nita Burrito, I like your name, by the way. Welcome in. And I like your thinking. Damn that cultural imperialism. I'm right. It's because Australia is so small, and I hate Americans getting a big head, but there's so many of them searching on Google that we need to... I refuse to do cups all of the time. We're trying to teach them metric, but whatever gets most people on our website, most traffic. You do you, call them what you want. All right, but basic ingredients are dark chocolate, peanut butter, rice bubbles, aka Rice Krispies. Rice bubbles is such a better word, just saying. Rice bubbles, snap, crackle, pop. So bar of pizza doesn't exist anywhere. Yeah, I don't understand that, but we're talking about like baked foods, like baking, cooking. All right, baking, bars versus slice. Let's see what Google comes up with. Bars, brownies, and slice recipes. What are slices in baking? What is a slice? The ideological world of baking, the slice refers to small shortcake made in crumbly pastry and pressed into a tin. When baked on a high heat and allowed, it cools to form a crumbly layer. Okay. This is a .com, obviously. What are slices in Australia? Many cafes and bakeries in Australia serve more one or more slices which are a bit like a cookie bar or sheet cakes. So no one can. Slices for me apply to cakes, pies, and pizzas. Yeah, a slice of pizza. Okay, it's a jelly slice. Is that like the crumble? It's like basically like a cheesecake with like jelly on top. Oh my God, I have been wanting to make one of them forever. Delirium. When I was at boarding school, one of the girls' mum used to make them and bring them like at the start of every start of every term or year. I don't remember, but I just remember they were incredible. Yep. Okay. Damn. I'm good. Yeah, I've got some ideas. Cool. All right. We are making today chocolate peanut butter, not chocolate chip cookies, Molly. Slice. Drive. The other thing you'll need is butter. Like this is so easy. Even you kids can do it. Everyone can do it. It's a good time. Mum used to make the best jelly slice. What about your mum's jelly slice was amazing? We'll need to talk about that when it comes to the time of making it and help me create the recipe for everybody, perfect for everybody. Is it like a really crumbly base, or do you like a shortbread base? Slices or bars, Molly, you gonna start a riot? We gonna start a riot. Oh, isn't there a song that I just made myself look like a massive boomer? Okay, no bake as well. This is amazing. It's so easy. Okay, peanut butter, maple syrup, dark chocolate butter, rice puffs, and you can add like protein powder if you want, but it's up to you. I forgot my maple syrup is here. So, easiest thing ever. You're gonna melt the peanut butter with the butter and the maple syrup, mix it into Rice Krispies, put it in the fridge, melt some chocolate on top, that's it. Super easy. You can probably add a little bit of butter. We'll add a little bit of butter to the dark chocolate just to help it like not be as set, so that when you can cut through it. But it's stupidly easy. Stupidly thick layer of cheese, of the jelly slice. See, I may be in the minority here, but when it comes to cheesecake, like I like the balance between the base and the cheese layer to be like 1 to 2. I don't like too much cheesecake layer. I feel like it's underappreciated, the balance between the base and the cheesecake layer. I feel like you can't have too much cheesecake. So like it's different. I like to have it in a slice. Oh my God, a bar, cheesecake bars or cheesecake slice, rather than like a proper round cheesecake. Then it's probably like 1 to 3. But I think people do too often, they use too much cheesecake and not enough base. Red Jell-O, yes, I agree. Okay, so the things you will need are scales, of course, 2 bowls. I'm gonna get glass for this. And we might just use a double boiler, but you can use a microwave, which I usually would. Or we just, oh, that's not gonna go there. There we go. We're just gonna do a bit different, okay? So, double boiler on microwave. So much quicker with a microwave though. So torn. You need a 20 by 20 centimeter, which is 7 inches by 7 inches. Tin, like a brownie tin, square brownie tin. Mine's missing. Where have I been recently? Maybe I took it to Mama Molly's. Oh, they're both up there. Microwave? Ugh. You don't like a microwave? I love me Mick. Mick the mic. It's just so functional, you know? Right. So the things you're gonna need are a Miss Molly silicone mat, available from missmollymakes.com, of course. Just keeps your bench clean. We're not gonna really use it too much. Set of scales, of course, a bowl, and a saucepan. So the way you want to find the saucepan is that this sits on here like that and doesn't kind of wobble too much. Unfortunately, I once dropped this saucepan and it's no longer round. You see, it's got like a massive like dent in it. Fell on the floor from like 2 meters high. I don't know why I was holding it above my head, but smashed down from a height. Okay. So, water. Oh, there we go. Scales. And we're gonna need some peanut butter. So use whatever peanut butter you like. This one here is crunchy peanut butter. I'm not gonna start the conversation about crunchy or smooth. You can if you want and tell me what you think's better. And I'll tell you you're wrong, but I'm not gonna start that disagreement again. I'm staying on the fence. All right. So it's about 3 tablespoons. There we go. Lovely. You're not peanut butterist? Do you have Jif or Peter Pan? No. 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 I'm just thinking, sometimes some of those ingredients are available, some of those brand names are available at Costco, but I think we have Skippies at Costco. All right, so 100 grams of peanut butter, 100 grams of maple syrup, or too much. Jif top peanut butter, best thing in existence. Really? What makes it so good? Is it sweet? That's one thing that y'all find is if you're in America, but you guys like sweet things. So I would say like American peanut butter is so sugary and reduce the amount of peanut butter, reduce the amount of maple syrup, but a lot of you like it that way. A lot of you really like super sweet desserts. Whereas if I was using sweet peanut butter, I would reduce the amount of maple syrup. Does that make sense? So like do it to taste. I put too much maple syrup in. Okay. I'm gonna add a little bit of the butter. Hold on. Okay, so let me just. Yes. Okay. So we're gonna go 10 grams. Yes, a teaspoon. All right, so I'm just trying to work out the maple syrup, 100 grams. 3 to 4 tablespoons of peanut butter. Cool. I picked the peanut on the top of, I pick the peanut of the top all the time. There is half peanut top on half of the jar. You open the jar and there it is. The Jif top peanut. I'm so confused. Best Jif top peanut? That's a brand? Pick the peanut off the top all the time. There's half. When you open a jar of Jif in America, there's like peanuts on the top. Is that what you're saying? I don't think I've ever seen a peanut on the top of my Jif. There is half peanut. There's a half peanut. Like just one single peanut. Like half of a single peanut. I like both, depends on the vibe when I'm in the store on what I'll pick. Okay. And is that new? Never seen that. We got some Americans saying that. Nah, never seen that in my life. Okay, the last thing. I have a question. This is peanut butter, maple syrup, butter. Do you think we should add chocolate in here as well as the topping, or just the topping on the chocolate on the top? Do you know what I mean? Do you think we should have some chocolatey goodness inside the bar or just topping? Because I just had this idea that maybe we could add some in here as well. What do you think? Maybe a little bit. Maybe like a quarter of a cup. What was the second option? So chocolate, there's gonna be like the slice. Think of like a Rice Krispie treat covered in chocolate, covered on top of, with chocolate on top. Or you could have the Rice Krispie with the chocolate, some of the chocolate inside and on top. Part of me wants to inside and on top. Just gonna pop that there, just to keep me melting it. Okay, I'm gonna try and see what, keep it out for the contrast, but it won't be that dark. Okay, so that's a quarter of a cup. Evening, EDT, welcome in. How you doing today? Okay, spatula. Look at that. So basically what we're wanting to do, melt the butter, make this more, just soften so it becomes more emulsified. And then we're gonna add our Rice Krispies, or our rice bubbles. Yeah, but it's not like, it's not terrible for you. You could do the same thing with almond butter if you wanted to as well. So it's like, it's a healthier treat. It's not an every time treat, but it is something that's, it's nice. You know, we don't have high fructose corn syrup. Instead of the butter, you could use coconut oil if you wanted to. Instead of maple syrup, you can use honey or agave. They're all basically the same when it comes down to it. Is that PN butter, oil and garlic? That looks lush. No, this is peanut butter, and peanut butter, maple syrup. Right. I received my order yesterday that I purchased from your store. I look forward to diving into the box. Yes! Amazing. Thank you for your order, Cousin Mel. Very excited. Alrighty. So, delish. So it's a little bit warm. When incorporating things into it, you don't want to, like, the thing that you got to keep in your mind is that what will happen if I incorporate this to the Rice Krispies and it's hot? Like, what happens in the past when you've done that? If you incorporate something that's hot with something that's cool, especially like a bread or something that is absorbent, the heat is going to like maximize that absorption. So you run the risk of creating soggy Rice Krispies by it being too hot. So you just got to be careful of, like, when you're, it's just all those things. As the more you cook, the more you build on experience, the more it will help you in your future. So you're critically thinking as you're going of, like, all right, I don't want this to be too hot because when I mix in the Rice Krispies, it's gonna possibly make it soggy. So cool this down slightly, and that will prevent it from happening, right? Or mix it together, put it straight in the fridge to cool it down as soon as possible. Stuff like that. It's just little things that go through my head that I wanna show you. Like, I need to kind of verbalize what's going through my head so that I can hopefully build your experience. And you will learn this as you go. And the more you cook, the more you learn, the better you'll get. All right. So here I have I'm gonna add a little bit of chocolate. Yeah, we're gonna add that. Choc peanut butter. Might as well go the whole hog. So the residual heat, because the bowl is still hot, remember glass, it's another thing to learn, is glass retains its heat. So it's not recommended, that I've been learning recently, because it's something that I've done in the past, is bake pies or some casseroles in glass. It's better to do them in ceramic because glass retains its heat, and you can often overcook things because the glass doesn't cool down as quickly as ceramic does or metal does. So either take it out early or, damn it, I thought this would be lighter. Obviously we're using dark chocolate, but it's a learning experience. If you're using glass, something to be aware of. Okay. This here, zero it. And you kind of got like equal portions. If you're realizing what we're doing, we're using 1 part peanut butter, 1 part maple syrup, just a little bit more dark chocolate because we're doing the topping as well. So 1 part peanut butter, 1 part syrup, 1 part Rice Krispies or rice bubbles, and then half a portion of chocolate in here as well. And I use salted butter, just another thing that I should mention. I use salted butter, so if you're using unsalted, just add a pinch of salt. Closer up. Oh, you're in Texas, Mel? Then that's where the warehouse is. So it would have come to you really, really quickly. We pay for a warehouse to host some of our stock, just so that you guys can get it quickly. This is like the 4th time I've said that this week, quickie, instead of quickly and quick. All right, look at that. Better version, not a better, because I'm not going to say I really do love Mars by Slice, but but this is pretty banging. Chocolate peanut. Yum. So good. Oh, yeah. Maybe a little bit sweet. I'm gonna add a little bit more salt because I'm a fiend for salt. You'd eat it just like this, yeah? Like that. We're gonna get our tin. We're gonna line it with some baking paper. Bacon pepper, I got bacon pepper. Okay. Way to line your cake dish, cake tin. I spray just a little bit of oil because I eventually will wash it when it comes out. But I put the baking paper on like that. Spread out your thumb and forefinger, your pointing finger, like that. Get it? Put it in. Go to the corners and press into the corners. Okay. So, press into the corners like that, and it tucks up. Rotate if you want, and press into the corners like that. So it kind of looks, see it's folded in? That's what you want. You want it to fold in one way, and you want to straighten it on one edge. I need to find my scissors. Okay. So this is a little trick that I'll teach you. So straighten it on one edge, get your scissors, and you just want to cut down to the corner. Cut straight down to the corner. Do the same thing here. Cut straight down, snip. Okay, get these, now you've got these two little bits that you've cut off, like that, see? You've cut them off. And you want to wrap them behind. Like that. You've got a nice tight edge, tight corner, and looks really neat. Do the same thing with this side. So choose whatever edge you want to straighten it on and just kind of like make that go straight. Get your scissors, cut. Flip that behind, and there you go. Something here. Easy peasy. Sometimes what I'll do is just neaten this up. Whoop. Like that. That's how neat it is. Obviously I've cool. Some people, what they fold it and they get clips. I like that idea. Thank you for the tip. No worries. Oh, and the blowing. Okay, grab this. Like that. Oh, I just realized. I've possibly made a slight mistake. So, I use butter, but you could use coconut oil or you could use Kofa or like Crisco, for instance, right? They would probably be better than the butter if you wanted to keep these at room temperature. The butter will soften, right? Coconut oil and Kofa or Crisco solidify and stay semi-solid at room temperature. It means that when you're using butter, you need to keep it in the fridge. That's the only thing. They'll just go soft. I just realized that. Because the last time I made these, I made it with coconut oil and I didn't like it because I'm not a massive fan of the coconut oil flavor. So next time I'll write maybe in the recipe. See, this is why we test things, test ideas. Okay, like that. But the chocolate though, the chocolate possibly will keep it solid. We just have to see. Cold treats and oh yeah, definitely. I like that. So going back to what we were saying before about a bar or a slice, if I cut this, what would you call it? If I cut it up and I gave it to you, you'd say thank you for the, or today Miss Molly made something. Would you refer to it as a slice or a bar? Nito Burrito says slice. You would call that a slice. Okay. Chocolate peanut butter bars. Thank you, Kazalin. Rice crispy treat. Slice. Okay. Why don't you call it a bar?
You've got mail.
I feel like me learning justifies that I'm watching you and not working. Yeah, 100%. If you need me to sign anything for your workplace, I'd say that you're at a convention and we're learning today. Today we're learning about all different things. Life learning. I'll sign you off, tick you on your your things that you've done today. We cut a slice off a bigger item. A bar is like a candy bar. Okay, hold on. So just using baking paper, flattening it down like that. Dang, flat. So keep it like that so you can flatten it out. I'm gonna write some notes. You know what I'm gonna do is every time we do this, I'm gonna ask you guys what I've said and what notes I've mentioned and what you've paid attention to. Because I get to my office that day, the day after when I make it, I completely forget the tips that I've told you. And as I'm going, I'm like, I just, and that's the hardest thing with the writing is I'm not as good as remembering as I write, but where I'm chatting to you guys, it just flows through me as a vessel. But I just give off stuff, I just talk the words, but I never remember when I'm writing. If only there was a VOD to watch. Yeah, but it's just so time consuming because I waffle. Okay. Okay, notes. I'll write myself notes at the bottom of the recipe. I think that's good. You need a stream scribe. Yeah, well, the thing is that YouTube does transcribe it. I need to be little tip, and then I can just search the word tip. Butter needs to stay in the fridge. If you want it less sweet, reduce syrup, especially if your peanut butter contains sugar. Okay, what else have I said? Press down. Yeah. Baking. Use microwave or double boiler. You can put it into instead of a tin, you could put it into cupcake tins. So it's like a nicer version maybe of what do we call them? Crinkles? What are the Australians will know? What do we call the Cocoa Pop things? We've got Honey Joys and is it chocolate crinkles? For single portions, you can put them into cupcake molds. Crackles. That's it, crackles. Nita Burrito, where are you from? Are you from Australia or are you from the US? Well, you said that you've been working, so I'm guessing that you're in the US. Australia, sorry. Chocolate crackles. Chocolate crackles, that's it. Melbourne. Okay, sweet. All right. So the tips that I've got is coconut oil or Kofa will set solid. Butter needs to stay in the fridge. If you want it less sweet, reduce the syrup, especially if you have your peanut butter is sweet. Use the microwave or the double boiler. You can put it in cupcake tins. We call them chocolate crackles. Yes, that's what it is. Did I say crinkles? You don't have to put the chocolate layer on if you don't want, but it is good. So, set solid before slicing. Okie dokie. I'm just thinking I'm gonna wash this. I'm all about that minimal dishes life. Yeah, and then we'll use that. Okay, I'm gonna go to the pantry. And you can hang out while I just wash this dish. Alrighty. So, you know the whole bar thing? And Rosalie, you said a candy bar. Is that like a homemade candy bar? Is also called a bar? Like, you said that if it's sliced off a larger piece, you call it a slice. But what happens if you make like, I'm just thinking, like, bars slice. Okay, sweet. Saw this thing before. Bars and slices. Here we go. Okay, question. So they called it peanut butter brownie bars. Isn't that just a slice? And so like they've got a brownie, a slice, brownies, and you cut them because they're just called brownies, right? You wouldn't call them a slice. But if you put like a layer of peanut butter and layer of chocolate, that's like, it's still a slice. I would still call that a slice. Or an easy oat slice. So I'm just on this website because it came up when I searched bar or slice before. And they have a whole section. This is called Sweetest Menu. Brownie would just be a brownie, yeah. But she has an easy oat slice. Oh no, I'm looking for bars. That plays into my idea. Hold on. Where's the bars? Lady, where's the bars? B-A-R-S. Hold on. That doesn't count. That plays into my idea. Yeah, okay. Cookie bars. S'mores cookie bars. Peanut butter bars. Chocolate peanut butter bars. Why aren't they slice? Twix brownie bars. No bake bars. So Google confirmed what I was taught, a cuboid piece of a solid commodity, bar of chocolate, bar of soap. Pecan pie bars. I would call that a pecan pie slice. So this is the thing that I want to learn. Like, how do I make this like more viewable to you guys? Those are all slices. Yeah. Who would call a peanut butter bar? Like a pecan pie bar. Yet we do have desserts called bars, like lemon bars. Yeah. Where we would call them lemon slice. So she's also got Oreo truffle bar, Rolo bar, cookie stuffed chocolate bar, fudge bars, almond joy brownie bars. In the US, Canada, we don't call it slice, always bar. See, but I've got conflicting information. Yeah, those are all bars. But why? Why? Why are they bars and what do you, so you always say bar, always say bars but not slices. Or some people say both. Because USA. But then there's more people. Okay, how many, like, can we do a poll in chat for Americans? Americans only, like USA people in USA only, to answer the question. If you use bars or you use slice, or both. Slice is when you're cutting off parts from a whole. But I use both. So for instance, like pecan pie bars. It's made a big slab and you cut it up. Yeah, USA only. My see poll thing isn't working, damn it. I've only heard slice here now today. You always use bar. Yeah, see? Pecan pie bars. So that's what they look like. Would you call that a bar or a slice? Pecan pie bar, pecan pie slice. Pies are slices. If you said a pecan pie slice, you'd expect a literal pie. That makes sense. That's a bar. That would be a bar since it isn't a pie. Australians, what would you call this? I'm pretty sure we would call it a slice. Tell me in chat what country you're from and what you would call that. Commander Shepherd says slice. And also people outside of Australia and outside of America, North America. How many people do we have like from Europe? What would you call this? We need to get, it's so often what do Kiwis call it? Yeah, where's some Kiwis? Where's my tala? Slice bars. Oh my God. Bar or slice? Slice New Zealand. So seems like all Australians are saying slice and all Americans are saying bars. Diane, what do you call this? A slice or a bar? Slice New Zealand. Thank you, Bridget. I know they have some weird names for this. Chili bag and chandles. Hubby says slice in New Zealand. Yeah. But what about outside of, who's got some European friends? I want to talk some English, Irish, Western European, Finland, Sweden. We need to get some crowdsourcing going on with this as well. A bar or a slice? A slice is pizza if not specified. Give me a slice. But like British partner, slice. Thank you, Nito Burrito. So it's like, do we call this? We're gonna figure out how many people are searching for a chocolate peanut butter. But like if I said to you, this is a peanut butter slice, if you're in North America, would you understand what it is without me telling you a peanut butter slice? A chocolate peanut butter slice. You wouldn't know what it was. I would think it's a pie. Because I know a lot of Aussies and Brits, I would. Whereas Australians, if I told you these were, because this is what I'm trying to figure out. Like if I could call it one name that both people, every country knew what it was. If I said to you, this is a chocolate peanut butter bar, would you know what that is? In Australia or New Zealand? Chocolate peanut butter bar. Yeah, I feel like you would, wouldn't you? even though we're catering it to the American audience, I'd rather create something that majority of people would know and searching for. If it was a bar, I would think it was a muesli bar or a chocky bar. I would understand if you said bar for sure. Okay. Okay. So into here, when we're dealing with chocolate, we're gonna wipe it, make sure it's really, really dry. So I'm reusing this bowl, but we need to make sure it's really dry before we put the chocolate in there. And we're gonna put a touch of butter just to soften it. So the butter will also help, even though butter has water in it, it's a lot of fat as well. The butter is going to then coat the chocolate so that it kind of insulates it and prevents it from seizing. So that's why when you're using cream, to make a ganache or something, you're melting them together. It's good to, rather than sit like the chocolate and then put the butter on top or the cream at the bottom, mix the cream, make it distribute all throughout it before you start heating it. Because then it insulates and it keeps it, safe from the heat. Side note, if you like sweet savory foods, I made something like this with crushed pretzel rods instead of Rice Krispies. Ooh. I don't know if pretzel rods are available in Australia, but I suppose you could just use the curly ones and just chop them up. Can you put that in disc? That's a good idea. I'm gonna. Do you have a recipe for that, or let me have a look. Chocolate peanut butter bars with pretzels instead of rice bubbles. Okay, so into there we're gonna add 100 grams of dark chocolate. So this is 60% dark chocolate. You could use 70% dark chocolate, would be between there, I think would be good. 55 to 70. Anything more than 70, I feel like you're eating dirt. I know that's probably unpopular opinion, but, oh no. We want, should be around half a cup. Heaped 1 cup. Okay, so then we're gonna add a little bit of butter, just a touch. You just smash them with the rolling pin, that's good. I'd like to try something like this with plain chippies. That would be good. I'd like to do some more stuff. Like, have you ever heard of like a slice or a bar, but the base is chips? That, like Lay's chips, or something that you crush really small and that's like the base of a cheesecake? I think that would be a pretty cool idea. Like that sweet savory mix. But you've got to make sure that it's not too savory, not too sweet, and not too wet, because then they'll go soggy. All right, so I'm gonna go with another teaspoon. There we go. Like that. So this is what I was saying before, to insulate the chocolate, because when I put this over the heat, which I haven't turned on, naughty. When I put this over the heat is going to come from the bottom, and what I want is, I want to protect the chocolate to insulate it slightly so it doesn't get shocked. What you want to do is just mix the butter around like this. It works as the butter melts, because the butter will melt first before the chocolate. And just make sure It's all kind of coated, and that will set you off for success so that the chocolate, you know, just one little blockade to prevent your chocolate from seizing. Coated in some fat. Okay. Lovely. Thanks, Kaz. Like that. So we just heat that, pour it over the top, really thin layer, and we're good to go. Alrighty. Thank you for everyone who participated in the. I didn't see the results of the poll because of the way that the issue. I can't see the results. I usually press a button and it opens up the poll on my screen. I can see, but it didn't work. Thank you, Kaz. I appreciate it. All right. So we're just kind of compressing this. All USA responses were bar. Thank you. Thank you. Bars were on top. I think it's gonna have to be until I get comfortable, I'm gonna be asking you guys questions like this a lot, if that's okay. Like what substitutes a bar and what substitutes a slice. At the end of the day, I'll make up, you know, by data, I'll make up my own mind of what it's gonna be called. But you guys are so useful in crowdsourcing opinions and ideas. Okay. Thank you, Michaela. They're looking a lot better, but I think the deeper layer of the skin, oh my God. The deeper layer was damaged because they're so sensitive and they're really sore. It looks so much better, but it's really, really quite sore still. Anytime I knock it and press it, it's very painful. But yeah, 100% better. It's been 2.5 weeks. Looking all right. Yeah, sugar burns. Be careful with. Don't hurt yourself. I think it's fun. It makes you think about words you just use. Yeah. Sorry that happened. Ouch. Thank you. It was the product of me trying to film a video, like to make a reel of dipping donuts in toffee to try and make like the creme brulee donuts I've been seeing on Instagram and on social media. But the issue was I was trying to film at the same time of putting my hand into a saucepan. And then as I took it out, I put it down and I put it too close to one that I've already just done. So I put the donut down, and because I was filming as well, I didn't know distance, and I touched the top of the toffee from a donut. Oh, yeah. Silly me. Noodles burn my, oh no! Oh no. Sensitivity goes forever. It feels like just the skin took a while to heal. But then I was like, oh, good. Now that it's all started to, the scab's gone and it started to clear. It looks nice. But nope. Just let this cool down slightly. I have a burn on one of my butt cheeks about the size of a 50-cent coin. It still looks like yours 2 years later, very, very delicate. I have keloid scarring skin, if anyone's familiar with that. And so I heal, and that's why I was worried. I heal and like a scar forms on top of a scar. And so I had surgery here, it's called laparoscopic or keyhole surgery, on my belly button and then above it. And that scar took forever, took like 3 years to soften. I had to get I was very, very lucky to work in a hospital I used to work with plastic surgeons as an operating room nurse. And after our list, not something that the management should know at the time, but after our list, so after all our surgeries, I was just about to fly out the next day to go on holiday, and the doctor said, jump up on the table. And so I laid there and he draped me with the help of another nurse. There was another scout nurse looking out, and he removed my scar. So he put anesthetic and local anesthetic so it was numb, and he like cut out the scar and took it away, and it was like this deep. And then he like sealed it, closed it properly, and so then it healed like more effectively. Because when you get a general surgeon, like the comparison of a general surgeon compared to a plastic surgeon, they suture differently, they use different materials. And he also injected it with like some steroid to help the healing process, and it healed a lot neater and nicer as well. So yeah, I was just with local, local just numbs it up. It's all good. I have a picture really of me laying there and me taking a selfie, and then you can just see him operating. And it was only like, it was on like just above my belly button here. It was only like, maybe like 2 inches. But yeah, pretty cool. Mine was sitting on a leaky battery all day and not knowing, oh my God, oh my goodness. Poor thing. I'm surprised that the acid like didn't melt your skin. Oh my God. Well, it did, you burnt yourself, but yeah, hopefully. And how long ago did you say that was? 2 years? So this was only recently. Oh my goodness. Wow. Oh, it did. Okay, so. Chocolate. We talk about some weird, funny things on stream, don't we? Here I am making 1 minute, making these slices, talking about bars or slice, names, and then telling you about surgery. Let's look live. You won't get this on a normal cooking show. Or any other stream, it's just me. All right. Like that. So you can use milk chocolate if you want, but it's not really recommended. Dark chocolate has less fat solids, more cacao. So it's gonna say more solid. It's gonna be less sweet, but it's gonna be arguably, healthier, but mainly it's the more cocoa powder or cocoa mass, I think it's termed cocoa mass, in here is going to make it set firmer. Milk chocolate is more cocoa butter, and so it's going to be softer and sweeter. Just use your spatula just to spread it around. That, make sure it's kind of in the nooks and crannies. Like that. And then just to kind of smooth out the surface. Like that. Just give it a like that. There you go. You could add a thicker layer if you wanted to, or do this, set it, and then add another layer, because then it will make it really smooth. But I don't think you really need any more than that. Looks good, hey? Pop it in the fridge and we'll see it later. Okay. So next thing is our chicken. So we're gonna need chicken breast, sun-dried tomatoes, onion, spinach. Disconnected under local, and the doctor asked if he wanted to sit up and take a look. Oh, I didn't read that. Can someone, can you repost that again? Something disconnected under local. When I was 11 when the ramen noodle was burnt onto me. The scars faded, thankfully. It was my right shin and one that wrapped around the back. The whole thing, a cup of noodles that had barely softened enough to separate. Oh my God. To pry them off an ear. Oh my goodness, I'm 37 now. It's a distant memory, but it was one of the things that stick with me for sure. Just like the noodles stuck with you when on your way to the hospital. Oh my God. I hope you're, being able to get rid of that. I think Jeebus was referring to a vasectomy. Oh, really? You did it in the chair? Never heard of it. Like, telling you to got it done. Interesting. I don't know. I do like the idea. There's part of me that likes the idea. I'm sorry, tell me if you've got a queasy tummy and we'll change the topic. But I do like the idea of having pregnancy, like during birth, like reaching down and pulling the baby out. Either way, either C-section or the natural way, pulling the baby out. I like that idea. I think that's pretty cool. Rather than like the doctor, getting involved in, it's more of like a connected process with the mum and baby. But I don't know how many people would feel the same way as me. I know I have seen videos of like doctors who have given birth and they've put surgical gloves on and they've pulled the baby out of their tummy, like from a C-section. I think that's pretty dope. But yeah, I don't know. Probably a bit too far for some people. Okay, we're making one pot chicken. Quite a few. There's a large home birth, natural birth, water birth movement. Yeah. Skillet, fry pan, whatever you want to call it. You can do this in a large fry pan. I'm going to use a smaller one today because I'm showing you a portion for 2 people. How I would usually do it in my house. I'm using 2 chicken breasts. I think that the recipe will probably be for 4 people, and which is my go-to. You can halve the recipe for 2, and then a standard portion is usually 4, because it's kind of like a standard that I do that could probably, 4 people usually feeds like a family. It's family size of 4 people, 5 people. If you've got kids, it usually feeds around 5 people. But you can also halve it if it's just you and your partner, or just you and you want leftovers. It's option 2. So large fry pan, a medium-sized fry pan, 2 chicken breasts, some spinach. We're gonna go around the back, but I'll just read out the ingredients to you. We're gonna use onion. You can use red, brown, or yellow. We refer to it in Australia as brown onion, but in the US you call it a yellow onion. So we're gonna need sun-dried tomatoes, tomato paste, and cream or yogurt and parmesan entry. Okay. So sun-dried tomatoes. Exceed had them. I don't know where I told him to put them. Oh, here they are. Okay, sun-dried tomatoes. Then we needed what else did I say? Why am I around here? Sun-dried tomatoes. Memory. Brown onion, that's it. Onion. Ow. Right. So this is 125 grams of sun-dried tomatoes, but there's no oil or anything. They're just dehydrated tomatoes. Another form you can find them in is oil in a jar. Who has sun-dried tomatoes in their house right now or often buys them? Tell me how they usually come for you and how you would buy them. I have them in a jar of oil. I usually drain the oil when using. So then you would just kind of pick them out. So if I told you to measure them, you'd get them out of the jar and then weigh them, just the tomatoes. In a jar sitting in oil, cool. Very occasionally you can get proper white onions in New Zealand. They're like the sweeter ones. Yeah, they're much better than the red ones, so sweet. I like them for burgers. Well, I pick them off the plant, then put them in the dehydrator and just call them sun-dried. Oh, you do them yourself, Jeebus, nice. In a jar, yes, without the oil, save the oil, use it for making vinaigrette, yes. Okay, so a little bit of Greek yogurt, onion, chicken, spinach for the end. Instead of yogurt, you can use cream if you wanted to as well. Tomato paste, I need to put back, there it is. Tomato paste. And then your spices and seasonings, we're gonna be using pepper, salt, paprika, chili, and garlic. Maybe some oregano too. Okay, so and all you'll need is one pan. One pan. You can serve this with rice or pasta if you prefer. These type of flavors, what would you be inclined to serve it with? Creamy tomato. I like both. Rice, pasta. Exceed would be more probably for this pasta. The last time I made it, we served it with pasta. Okay, just checking if I'm forgetting anything. Okay. Chili flakes, paprika, oregano. Cool. So you can make it spicy if you wanted to, or you can just make it very plain. Okie dokie. We're gonna start with chopping our onion. Then we're gonna caramelize the onion with some oil. Then add our garlic, our spices, then start cooking our chicken. Then it all comes together really, really easily. It is very simple midweek dinner. You can make it in bulk so that you've got it anytime, like meal prepping. And like I mentioned, there's a few swaps and changes if you're wanting to reduce the fat. You know, cream, Greek yogurt, whatever you want. The Greek yogurt will kind of give more of a zinginess to it. Also, evaporated milk is a great idea as well. It's a great alternative to using cream. All right, so I'm just chopping through. So I've taken the top off, but not the tail. And then we've just divided that in half. So cut it, split it. So all you want to do is take the brown layer off. You should be able to peel. If you have an issue trying to peel that, just get your knife and then put it partly way through, and that will help you be able to rip it. That. Same here. If you're finding it won't come off, just cut it slightly. So that's right. Take off like this. Okay. What we're going to be doing is cutting towards this stalk end, 3/4 of the way through, so it's still attached. When I do that, it's still attached to the end. Cutting like that, rotate, and then cut down. Some people will say, like, they'll tell you to cut, like, use your knife, lay it flat and cut towards you. I really don't recommend that. Like, it was something that I mention and I tell people if you're more comfortable with your knife skills, but I really don't even do it myself, because you're cutting towards yourself, you might slip, and it doesn't really matter. It's not going to give you a better slice, because the way that the onion is in layers anyway, you're going to get nice pieces. And I'd rather, you know, here you might get a few longer pieces, and that's fine. I'd rather have a few longer pieces than you risk slipping and cutting towards yourself. When you get to this area here, and it's a little bit, you might slip because the way the curve is working, the onion is curved towards your finger, and if you slip, you're not going to go that way, you're going to slip towards yourself. So the best thing to do is flip it over. You're holding onto the stalk and continue to cut. Then I flip back over, like that. And so that's how you dice an onion. All right, so do it again. So this, cutting 3/4 of the way. That, hold on to it, cut down, and kind of when you run out of room to grab onto, and your fingers are going to slip, flip it, hold on, make sure you've got some space, flip it over, hold on to the stalk, flip it back over, cool. As a clumsy person, it was a very useful tip. Thank you. All right. We're going to go over here. We're going to warm this pan up with a little bit of olive oil, which is empty. I have a bit of rosemary oil. I'm going to use that now. No. I'm testing this recipe, so I don't want to add any extra flavors that I don't need. So we're going to fill up our oil canister. Rosemary oil? The fuck? Yeah, so rosemary infused oil is basically just warming up some olive oil with some stalks of fresh rosemary and infusing the flavor. It's amazing. You can do the same with garlic. You can do the same with tomatoes. Heaps of different stuff. Infuse lemon oil. It's wonderful. Some people do, what else? Like truffle oil. Just adds a great way of adding flavor. Okay. What's your go-to dish if you're trying to impress someone? For example, the in-laws came over for dinner. I don't really have it always depends on the people. Like, I don't really have a signature dish. Exceed and I have discussed this quite a bit. It really depends on like what you're, like if someone's coming to dinner, what food do they like? I like to, if I know, for instance, like my brother is coming over, I know my brother loves satay. Or, you know, maybe he likes burgers, so I want to make him a burger. I don't really have, I don't know what. Yes, very situational. And it's the same with like people ask me like, what's my favorite food? It's very situational. It's like whatever, everything changes depending on my mood. I might be vibing with a certain ingredient that week, or like depending on what's a good all-rounded dish? I make pretty delicious risotto. Like if you don't know specifically what they love, primarily I would cook chicken, something with chicken in it, because that's pretty universal. Because you might not know the person likes red meat. Okay, so my in-laws are coming for dinner, okay? That was a good suggestion. My in-laws are coming for dinner, what would I make them? My father-in-law really likes burgers, but you'd want something that's not too heavy, and he's diabetic, so making sure something's not too oily or not too too much. I'd probably make smash patties. Smash patties are like a simple beef burger that's really thin sliced beef. And when you're making them, it's quite fun because it's quite theatrical when you get out the press and you press it, and you know, people can create their own layers. I love doing food that is family style, where we talk about this on stream quite a bit. You put something on the table and then people can just get what they like and put that into like the salad or the burrito, or I really love, and I'm quite biased, but I really love my naan bread recipe. So I would say Greek chicken or Greek lamb or Greek lamb or Greek chicken, and then do like a Greek salad, and then all different accompaniments, a homemade garlic sauce, tzatziki, and then do fresh naan bread or tortillas. And then everyone can make kind of like their own wraps or their own like gyros. I think that's pretty good. A lot of people, when you're cooking for people that you don't really know too well, or you don't know their preferences, it's a really great way with entertaining, is to have options and people can make their own dish. So having like a taco bar or a sushi station or something like that, where you can incorporate all different flavors, put it on the table, and they make what they want. Because then you're not imposing too much on them, and it's really fun. I am that type of person, and I know not everyone's like this, so that's why you get to know friends and family or guests. Not everyone likes to play with their food. Not everyone likes to share, but I love getting a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and then making my own wraps, and like making something that's like deconstructed, and then you can construct it however you want. I'm big on that. So it really saves I think that it really saves with picky eaters, and picky eater isn't really the term. I don't think it's a very endearing term, is it? When someone says like, I'm a picky eater, it's kind of like a negative connotation. I think someone who knows what they like and knows what they don't like, they're selective eaters. And family style meals are really great for that, because they may love bread, but they might not be feeling like bread that day, or they might be feeling like they're a bit bloated or whatever, so they can stick to the salad version. So you can get some chicken some Greek chicken and then some salad and then make that. And then they can have a, just a tortilla on their own. I personally don't like certain foods like wraps or gyros or kebabs. When they're from a store, I like to make them myself because then I can control how soggy, because sometimes the food gets soggy and I don't like that, or it gets cold or whatever. Another thing is I would rather get flatbread, rip it up, and then use that like small pieces and eat small pieces rather than having one big wrap, like a kind of a burrito bowl with ripped up pieces of flatbread. You know what I mean? Selective eater, that's a nice change. Yeah, spin on it, definitely. All right, so this is our onion and we're just caramelizing it. You'll see with this pan, this is a ceramic coated cast iron. It gets quite a lot of fond straight away. The pan was initially a little bit too hot, so I've turned it down. But this isn't burnt, it's caramelization. The natural sugars from your onions are softening, and it's flavor. So what we're gonna do is, in a minute, we're gonna add our garlic, we're gonna add our chicken and spices, and then we're going to add some wine or chicken stock, and that's gonna lift that off and it's gonna add the flavor. It's really important that you caramelize when cooking like chicken, and majority of proteins, you wanna caramelize them, sear them off, add some brown crusty texture, because that is flavor. The flavor molecules at a scientific level are bouncing around, and so then they hit each other and then they create something new. So like, you could think of, if you're in your mind, you can think of like marbles, okay? Marbles of like pellets of color, right? So they're bouncing around, and when the blue marble hits the the blue marble hits the red marble, they hit together and that paint pops out, and then they blend together and they create purple, right? So that flavor molecule is smack bang into another flavor molecule, and then it creates another different type of flavor molecule, a purple flavor molecule, and that is what's happening when your Maillard reaction, your caramelization, and that would add depth of flavor. The new flavor molecules that are created add umami, big mouth flavor, and color as well. So it makes it more visually appealing to your eye. So if you saw that, like this caramelized onion, the brown onion, that in your mind, you can imagine caramelized onion, that sweet, caramelly rich flavor compared to a boring white onion. If I give you a piece of white onion that like was not chopped, that was chopped but not cooked, so like this, right? Let me show you an example. There's drop, the one time that there's dropped little bits. Okay, so if I was to give you this white onion, and I said, put that in your mouth and eat it. Hold on. Man. Okay, Matt. Yeah, okay. So if this onion, you knew it was onion, you're gonna know straight away by the smell and the look of it, it's gonna be spicy, it's gonna be crunchy, and it's not gonna be very pleasant, right? We know if you've eaten raw onion, you know what to expect. However, if I gave you this caramelized onion, you already know that it's sweeter, that it's more kind of robust flavor, and it's gonna be more delicious, right? And the color of it, the shininess and the brown color, brown texture, it's translucent, it's gonna be softer in your, when you bite into it, it's gonna be nicer and it's more appealing. Just when the dish is finished, if you have a non-seared piece of meat and non-caramelized onions, it's gonna be lighter flavor. It's not gonna be as appealing to you as something that is rich looking. The colors are more robust, it's browner, the red from the tomato that we're going to be adding is thicker, more, not as vibrant, but more kind of rich maroon, you're going to know that that is going to be so much more flavorful than the lighter, bit murkier looking sauce. It's something that we innately know from experience that you don't really need to think about. But if I put two sauces in front of you, like a tomato sauce, one was dark maroon, it was shinier and deeper in color, and then I put something that was like bright red, like almost pink, and it was really light, runny, then you would look at both of them. I'm just going to presume, but I may not, because you may be different, but majority of people will go towards the thicker, richer tomato sauce, bolognese sauce or whatever, than they would the really bright, vibrant red one. Because you kind of innately know that that is going to be more flavorful and yummier. It's cooked, it's richer, thicker. It's just something that, our body and eyes will tell you. Tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if you don't agree. Tell me. All right, so that's there. I've turned the heat off. We're going to get our garlic cloves. So cloves of garlic like this. Don't do this. Don't try and peel them with your nails like that. It's too hard, right? So what you want to do, grab them and then give them a bit of a wiggle like that. And then they're easy to peel. You want to keep them intact, like that. You can definitely do this trick where you put your knife there. Just tap gently. You don't need to like squish the bloody thing, and that will make it looser. But my trick is grabbing it between your thumb and forefingers, holding it like that, and twisting it, rocking it, and then you'll find that it's a lot easier to come off, and it just falls out. Cool. That came out because I squished it with the knife. Just little things that I do. Alrighty. Garlic press is in the dish. Oh, I washed it. Hold on. I think I left it behind here. If I was a garlic press, where would I be? Oh man, oh there. Okay. I tend to restrict some of my foods based on texture, such as certain crunch or something, hence why I call myself a picky eater, but will now start saying selective eater. I like that. Changes the mentality towards it, 100%. And capsicum does my head in. It's crunchy and sweet, but also soft. It confuses me. Yeah, I personally love capsicum when it's fresh, but I don't really like capsicum when it's soft. And like a fajita is something that I will, because it's wrapped in a tortilla, but having like this dish, you could add capsicum, but I don't like the texture of it being soft. It's kind of like slimy. I don't know. How do you guys feel about capsicum or bell peppers? Capsicum is another word, another name for a bell pepper. Okay, so then I crushed that and this garlic came out, but I like to keep all of the garlic. So I use the back of my spoon or even a knife just to scrape the inside of there to get it all out. Want it all out. And then these side bits as well. We like all of the garlic. Cool? Okay. So to this here, we're going to add a pinch of salt, half a teaspoon of salt. We're gonna add in some pepper. crunchy pepper. And I'll put the salt away. We're gonna add in a teaspoon of oregano. You could use thyme as well if you wanted to. Love capsicum raw but not cooked. I dislike them when they're been roasted and skinned, as they're a bit slimy, but cooked with their skins on, still yum. Okay. I love capsicum any way I can get it, says Margot. All right, I'm just making sure. 1 teaspoon of oregano. Half to 1 teaspoon of red pepper, red chili flakes. So we're gonna go with half, depending how spicy you like it. And then 2 teaspoons of sweet paprika. Yep, just gotta make sure it's paprika and not cumin. I haven't labeled my jars yet, so I really should get around to doing that. But I'm still waiting to decide if I change my jars. Okay, 2 teaspoons of paprika. I'm gonna put it back on the heat. Need to sneeze again. Excuse me. Okay. So basically we're toasting the spices so that they start to, when they come in contact with the heat, they're going to re-enliven the natural essential oils in there and really enhance the flavor. And it's a really important step. The other thing in here, we're also adding a tablespoon of tomato paste. Okay, let me make sure that I'm running that. Half teaspoon of cracked pepper, 1 brown onion, garlic cloves, 1 tablespoon. Let's go 1.5 tablespoons of tomato paste. Okay, sun-dried tomatoes here. So we just want, you can do grams if you want, but let's go with, I don't know if all of these are necessary. Let's go half. Let's go with like 75 to 80 grams, a third of a cup. So we'll slice these. Make sure as we're cooking, doing both, keep an eye on this at all times. So I'm just making sure that I'm pressing the tomato paste into the other spices, so it mixes them out throughout. And the tomato paste has the sugar content from the tomatoes, and that'll add some nice, more caramelization. I'm gonna grab some white wine. You could use chicken stock if you don't want to use white wine, but we're gonna use some chicken stock as well. If I was white wine, where would I be? I use a Semillon Sauvignon Blanc, SSB, as my go-to. It's like between $5 to $10 a bottle. I don't buy anything fancy. Drier wine, but it still tastes nice, but I don't really believe you should cook with expensive wine. Just something that you like the flavors of. I don't really like dry wine, so I don't drink it, so there's no point me buying expensive wine, because I won't drink it. All right. Just gonna turn that off. And then we go here. Just grabbing this and just slicing it. Alrighty. And then roughly chop it. could do just strips if you want, but I don't like the strips being too big. All my wine is under $10 a bottle. Nice. All right, I said 1/3 of a cup. I don't know if that will be fitting in there. Oh yeah. So like a compacted 1/3 of a cup. All right, that looks about good. Deal? And I'll weigh it just to be accurate. All right. Probably put this in a cup. Yeah, it's like 65 grams. Let's go with that. 65 grams. $65 to $85, whatever, like depending on if you want to add more or, you know, you have like a whole container, like, sorry, like if you want to use this whole thing, it's fine. It's depending on how much you love sun-dried tomatoes. All right, so pick these all up, put these into the saucepan. And then now we've got spinach, not much more to go. Just gonna chop the chicken. We're gonna start cooking the chicken and then you add the wine. Let me go with 1/2 cup white wine. And we're gonna add 1 cup of chicken stock. Cool, or chicken stock powder. 1 cup of water plus 1 to 2 teaspoons chicken stock powder. Okay. I always try and do all my chopping before I do my chicken, because then I don't have to swap, you know, get another chopping board. I can use just the one. So make sure you kind of clean this all off. Make sure it's more stable. See, even with the, something under it, it's not as stable as I want it to be. I need to get like the grippy thing. And okay, chicken breast. We're gonna weigh these out to be sure, Zero it. I'm just gonna zero that. So 500 grams, 1 pound. Or 2 chicken breasts. Depending on the size of your chicken breast, I've been told that the breasts I use, my breasts, are bigger than others. So I still think this is going to feed 4 people. We serve it with rice or pasta. Okay, grab this, slice it down, take off this tender, and then you've got your chicken breast like that. And then I just cut down that, and then we're going to either, oh no, yeah, I'm supposed to be keeping this whole. Okay, so we're just gonna keep it, shit, Google Molly. Cut this in half. So directly from the apex, from like the point down, so you're cutting it into 2 pieces. So like your chicken breast is like that, right? And what you're doing is you're cutting it folding it out and then cutting from one side from the point to the other side, or this side to that. No, we're going to, I'll show you what we're gonna do. We're gonna turn this on. We're gonna keep them whole. You can do either. You can keep them whole or you can chop them up. So here. Yeah, if you're wanting to do portions, you can keep them whole. So then you've got 4 chicken breasts, or I'd get 2 and divide them in half. And so then you've got half a chicken breast each. And then we're gonna sear them and kind of brown them in the pan right now. We're gonna add our liquid and we're gonna simmer them in the sauce so that they're cooked whole. So then you just need to pick out 1 portion for 1 person and serve it with rice or pasta. Or alternatively, you can slice the chicken up and then have it like that. There's two ways. Okay, so that. And we're gonna add in our chicken. I was almost going to slice them, so that's why there's 5 pieces. But basically, we're just getting some colour. This is probably better with tongs if you did it with tongs. I don't like recipes when they say number of breasts because they vary so much. Yeah, so I've written number of breasts, but then also grams. But sometimes like with this recipe, if you're keeping them whole, the number of breasts matters because you're serving like half a breast per person. Do you get what I mean? Yeah, I think it's really recipe dependent. Okay. Yeah, I mean more if it's being chopped. Yep, completely agree. I understand. Okay. So just brown it on all sides. And then while we do that step is happening, I'm putting this to the side. We're gonna need to get our liquid ready. So we're gonna go with half a cup of wine first. Half a cup of white wine. Then I want chicken stock. Been using thighs over breasts lately. Yeah, you can definitely do these with breasts if you want. I would do 1 breast per person. If they're larger, you could use up to 2. But yeah, definitely can swap this out. It's would be delicious either way. Chicken thighs are high fat content, but if you want to simmer this, they'll fall apart and they'll just be really delicious. Whereas chicken breasts will possibly dry out. This, once you've made it, you can pop it in the oven and let it cook in the oven and it will be really yummy. Oh, I think I've... I've disconnected my pedal. Damn it. There we go. Hot. Okay, so turn the heat down, not off, Lauren. And we're gonna add in oh man. Is it unplugged? Yeah. No, the light's not on there, so I don't know if it's... I've damaged the cable because I hit it with my foot, but I'll fix it later. The problem, because they're so good, but I'm so rough when I kicked it. Okay. Using a different, kept these in the pan, so they were quite hot. We'll go here. We're gonna add in, so now it's all brown, we're gonna add in our wine. And basically we're gonna turn down the heat. We're deglazing the pan. So to lift up all of that beautiful flavor from the bottom of the pan. See how it's gone really rich and like a maroney red. Look how magnificent it looks. Okay. And just using your spatula, like silicone spatula or your tongs here, I grab like a piece of chicken and I kind of rub the base to kind of lift off any stuck bits, like that. Wonderful. Yum. Looks so good. Now turn the heat right down. We're gonna grab a cup of water. 250 mils. Remember, Australian cups are slightly bigger than an American cup, so use a little bit more. And we're gonna add two teaspoons of chicken stock powder, like that. Fabulous. Oh, still not working. I just keep forgetting. My bad. And I left it in there again. Molly. Because they're metal, they heat up. All right. Add in this. And basically we're gonna put this on really low and just let this simmer. And because everything's all browned, but we just want to cook it until, keep simmering until the chicken is cooked inside. And at this stage, or I usually do it when it's near, like basically 3/4 of the way cooked, I'll add either some cream or evaporated milk or Greek yogurt. Okay? How delicious does that look? And we fold through at the end, just as you're serving, you mix through the spinach because you don't want to mix the spinach now or it will wilt and then it will like break away and it'll start like breaking up. So I'll show you the only issue with Greek yogurt, what it's going to look like, is it does have like, it goes a little bit clumpy. So I'm not going to do it in here because I want to take a photo of it and the lumps don't look as presentable. So I'm going to use cream just for today. But Greek yogurt or evaporated milk are an alternative. But the Greek yogurt adds, because the curds in the yogurt, it adds like a, kind of like a slightly curdled texture. It tastes exactly completely fine. It just does, it's not as smooth. So that's why I do like the cream. Okay. And we'll go in with, I think 1/4 cup. 1/4 cup, 1/3 cup. That. There we go. This is enameled pan from Aldi. I really love it. I've been using it really quite frequently recently, off stream and on stream. I made the website recipe, what was it? For the Mexican corn dip, and I took it to Christmas Day. I like this pour spouts. Yeah, they're from OXO. They're amazing. They're measuring spoons, measuring cups, and they have all of the measurements on the side. It's really, really great. Okay. Doesn't look amazing? And then in the meantime, we're gonna be making some pasta, or you could just serve it on its own with some salad. But that is 1 pot Tuscan chicken. We're gonna add the spinach, but it's not far from being off. Oh, I'm gonna spout. Oh, these. Okay, I'd never use them. I don't really, because it's really heavy for me. I don't really have the strength to pour. But they would be good. Okay. Last thing I forgot is the Parmesan cheese. You could use cheddar, really whatever you like. This is just gonna add some richness. Usually I would add tasty cheddar, but or both. Oh. I seriously, like, I have a mind like a goldfish. I'm so busy talking to you guys that I keep forgetting. My pedal's unplugged. Thank you, Hells Bells, how you doing? I think this is something that you're all gonna love. It's a really quick, easy dinner recipe. Great for the family, great for leftovers. Pilates, very nice. What type of Pilates do you do? I'm good. Thank you for asking. Very good today. And the good thing about this is it's nice and saucy for serving with pasta. Clinical Pilates, okay. So what does that involve? Like with a physiotherapist? All right. Oh, yum. All right. Yeah. I think I may have gone too heavy on the chili for myself. I did half a teaspoon. I think I'll reduce it to 1/4. Oh, so good. And I'm going to add half a cup of, I think there's too much water. And 1/4 of a cup cream. So 60 mils. 1/4 of a cream, roughly around 62 mils. Yeah, I think that's good. All right, so take the heat off. And so this is, remember, the spinach is gonna wilt down to nothing, so add more than you think. I'm gonna use probably 2/3 of this. I made this for Exceed the other day, but I used slices. I'm just trying to remember, you know, the recipe, so I've been trying to recreate it. All right. So just sit it on top like that. I know it looks pretty messy, but it will wilt down with the heat and you can always add more. That's why I say to always do it just as you're serving, so it's still got some structure to it. It's wilted, but it's not like overcooked. Do you ever recall with your spinach? Oh yeah, I think I heard about it, but I around that time I didn't buy spinach. But yeah, I did hear that there was a salmonella risk with the spinach before Christmas, because my uncle mentioned it. I think we had a spinach salad at Christmas and someone mentioned, did they get it from Woolies or Coles or something? All right, can you already see it starting to soften down? There we go. What do you think? Does it look yummy? Just put your, for more better presentation, just put your chicken on the top. Yum. And this, it's kind of like thickened the sauce a little bit. I've taken up some room, some space. No idea, Aussie Wheels. No idea. If it's an order coming from Perth, then there's delays with our train and rail. I bought a parcel, some tallow balm, like a skin ointment, a week and a half ago. So it was shipped a week ago, and it was express. It should have been here like the end of last week. Still not here, and it was from within Australia, like it was from within WA, and it's still not here yet. So it's very frustrating. They tried to track the shipping, and it's in our area, but it just hasn't been, and that was the 3rd. No, the 3rd or the 6th. Yeah, so it was a few days after it was shipped. Maybe it was shipped on the 3rd, it got to our area in the 6th, and it still hasn't been delivered. And I went to the post office yesterday to send off some merch orders, which thank you everyone for your merch orders. And they don't know where it is. So it's a little bit frustrating. Oh my goodness. Look at that. Mms in the chat. Mms in the chat. I'm just making some changes. So I'm gonna reduce the paprika by 1. So 1 teaspoon, just reduce that a little bit. And I've written on the recipe to reduce the chili a little bit. 2 teaspoons chicken stock powder. And then 1/2 cup of water. Yeah, it'll get there. Be patient, be patient. Australia's been terrible for a while. Yep. Okay, so while we just clean up, I'm just gonna let that sit there and we'll make some pasta. I don't eat meat except for fish and seafood, but that really does look yummy. Thank you, Nita Burrito. Appreciate that. What else should we do? Some rigatoni or... that's a bit small. I was thinking risotto, but it's a bit small. I don't have any spirals. Where's my spiral pasta at? All right, looks like rigatoni it is.
same saucepan that we used before to use in a double boiler. Half fill it with water. We're going to heavily salt it. They never ring the doorbell, even though we are home. They throw packages. They try to enter the backyard because they say they can't find the front door right in front of them, or they leave a week old but you weren't home. I actually had to complain. When we had the same situation with the guy, he would walk to the doorbell and say hello, and then he'd write the form, and then he'd put the not knock. He'd put the form there, and then he'd leave. And we were like, we both work from home, so it was so frustrating. And then one time I saw the car drive up with our security camera. So then I ran to the front door, and he was getting into his car, and I said, hey, excuse me, just letting you know, like, we work from home. If you give us a few more minutes, like a minute or two, I said, I know you're so busy, but if you just give us a minute or two, we're just usually wrangling our dogs, and we are here. We work from home every day, and we're always here. And he was like, no worries, all good. And we've not had the issue since. He usually waits. So, I don't know if that's something you can do. It's a bit frustrating that you have to ask someone to wait. But yeah, it's usually the time, like, I get there, I've got to get the dogs into the bedroom, just like tell them to get into the bedroom, shut the door, and he's gone. So, but it's been working. And I didn't go out there and I didn't yell at him, so I think he appreciated me. I hope he appreciated that. Hey, can you freaking wait? Wouldn't be like that. Okay. So, alrighty. I try and get things shipped to an Amazon drop box or an actual delivery store, because that's faster usually for me. Yeah, that works. I sometimes with things in our PO box, they actually will not put them in the PO box, they put them in the drop box, and they'll just send you a message, because then you can get them any time of the day. You don't have to wait for the post office to be open. I appreciate that. But sometimes it has been where they haven't told us, they've just put it there. And I'm like, I've got a notification on my PO box that we've got something, but it's empty. They're like, oh, it's at the front. So yeah, it is good when the drop boxes are helpful, aren't they? Okay, so while we wait for the pasta water to heat up, we've got this again. It's all solid. Look at that. Okay, because just to be sure, we've prepared the chicken. So I'm just gonna take that away. Look at that. The beauty of a Miss Molly silicone mat. Clean bench. Get it for yourself. Free shipping to Australia, New Zealand, and North America. Okay. Do I need another chopping board? Let's go with a mini board. Okay. Pull down the sides. So this is our chocolate peanut butter slice bars. That's maybe what I'll just call it, slice bars. Are we going with bars? Look at that. Beware. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. We've been streaming for nearly 3 hours. We have been dead last time on all things food. We have made and now finished our chocolate peanut butter bars. or slice. We're still contemplating which word we're using in the community. We've made a pasta. So we're cooking our water for our pasta. I pressed the wrong button because I've unplugged my second Stream Deck pedal. And then this is our one pot Tuscan chicken. Sun-dried tomatoes, garlicky, creamy deliciousness. Look at that. Feeds 4. It's delicious. We're gonna serve it with some rigatoni pasta. We can serve it with rice. It is a flavor bomb. And minimal dishes as well, minimal cleanup, which we love. Our packages often get mixed up with our neighbours, our mail too. They usually don't leave the weren't home notes at least. Sorry, but they do usually leave the we weren't home notes at least. Also still better than my old apartment 12 years ago when I was pregnant, my first, and they would not even peek over the patio fence and just throw the boxes as hard as they could. No. My mum and I both were often sitting there. I got hit in the head once. Thankfully it wasn't the stroller, but oh my God. Until I watched the Mark Rober video of the porch pinches, I never knew that happened. Probably because like Australian houses are built differently and they're not as open from the like the driveway and from the road. But I didn't know porch pinches were a thing. I'd heard of like people doing it in apartment buildings and, you know, having like keeping something that was delivered to you what it wasn't meant to, like your neighbor or something. But I'd never seen or heard of anyone actually stealing something off the porch of like that. Yeah, that was unfathomable to me. Has anyone had anything stealen off their porch? Because we added the bit of butter in here, and it's also a thinner layer of chocolate, it's not really cracking. But if you're worried, just dip your knife in some really hot water and it will help it out. It can also help with like scoring it like this. And if it does crack, just get some warmth like this and just like, doesn't matter. You'll never know. Okay, and go here, there. Looks like a big piece of meat. That's why you got a Ring doorbell. Okay. I thought the glitter bomb thing was staged. No, but like, but didn't he did it. He started doing the glitter bomb thing because he had packages stolen from the porch. Like he set up those, is that what you mean? He set up the packages because he knew people were going around stealing stuff. All right, so chocolate, peanut butter, something. What are we calling it? Bars? Slice. That. Slice bar. Basically a chocolate crackle. Yeah, but with peanut butter. Slice bars? I think that worked. I think a slice bar works, don't you think? Yum. Even better out of the fridge. So, shows up in everyone's searches. But the thing is, it might be bar slice. Peanut butter, bar slice. No. Because the thing is you need like peanut butter bars would be one keyword. Peanut butter slice is another word. So the keyword that would show up for this would be whatever's in front. Does that make sense? SEO is crazy, man. like what people search for and like the amount of work. Slice. Nice. I'm so excited for you. So, oh man, I closed the document. In here, recap. Peanut butter of your choice. So 3 to 4 tablespoons of peanut butter, 100 grams. 100 grams of maple syrup, I didn't weigh it out, so I need to do that. Then we have 3/4 of a heaped cup or 150 grams of dark chocolate. And we used a teaspoon of butter in here, mixed it around, and with 100 grams of Rice Krispies or Rice Bubbles. Then after that, we did, the 50 grams of the butter. Sorry, 50 grams of the chocolate, and then the 100 grams of the chocolate mixed with 1 teaspoon of butter to make the topping. Yeah? And that's how you do it. It's super easy. So basically like a chocolate crackle slice, but with peanut butter, so it's better. Our water is now boiling, so we're gonna add salt. Heaped pinch. And I brought the rigatoni in. Tubes, aka rigatoni. Looks like that. You see? Looks like a tube. Bloop. The rough kind of way to go about it is 100 grams of pasta per person. I think 100 to 120 grams of pasta per person. But it's open to translation because different pastas, different amounts. So like angel hair, I eat more angel hair pasta because it's thinner. I don't know, it just feels lighter than I would do spaghetti. And you know, your swirled pastas and things, they pick up the sauce more. And they can be different. But there is usually like a rough rule. You can find it first things first. All right? What type of pastas do you like? Is your kind of go-to, guys? My son calls rigatoni ziti and penne all of the tube noodles. Yeah. Do you know I have never been able to find ziti in Australia? Because ziti is like a penne, but it's cut, straight cut rather than on an angle. Yeah. Am I right in thinking that? It's not something I ever knew about. And rigatoni is like a thicker ziti, but like with ridges. There's so many different types of pasta you would not believe. There we go. Linguine instead of spaghetti always. Angel hair gal. I love me some angel hair. Right. This. And we just grab these and just stack them. Obviously your finger, the temperature of your fingers will put fingerprints on and melt the chocolate. Stay away from touching the surface. See, that is not a bar. Oh, because I didn't do them bigger. Yeah. So this is a slice. Well, no, what would you call this? Oh my God, I'm stressed now. Is these because they're not like rectangles? Is that why they're not a bar? This is one area I always need help in. I'm a non-meat eater. I would love. I would have to be either vegetarian or vegan. So that redemption is for like if you're about to cook something right now. It's you give me what you've got in your pantry, and I'll give you suggestions. Squares? You want me to call these squares? Rice Krispie squares? Or chocolate peanut butter squares? I would still probably call this a slice. See, in Australia, slices. Yeah. Still a slice. Do they sound crunchy when I'm biting? I'd still call them a slice. I don't use bars for food. Yeah, Queen Cat Dog, whereabouts are you in the world? Where are you in the world? We're having this discussion, bars versus slice. These are chocolate, peanut butter, slice. Yeah, Melbourne. There's butter in the chocolate. Oh yeah, you can use coconut milk. Oh, sorry, coconut oil or Crisco, vegetable shortening, and then they will be, and use vegan chocolate, and they'll be vegan. Yeah. What do you think? They're so easy. With how many ingredients? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ingredients. Guys, you could add nuts. I almost forgot. You could add like chopped peanuts in there as well. I think Ixie would love that with some extra like crunchiness. Should we say 1 to 2 tablespoons of chopped peanuts? Optional. What do you think? In the chat. In the chat. All right, we're gonna go here. Oh, there or here. A pasta. All right, I'm gonna make a sheet cake. Gotta make a sheet cake now. Look at that water. Isn't it mesmerizing just to watch boiling water like that? And if you heard the bubbling. How many of you are, I'm not gonna say into, because I don't wanna get that twisted in the way of like, you really love ASMR and like, that gets you really excited. I don't mean that. But what I'm saying is like, how many of you enjoy the pleasant sounds of cooking? Like bubbling water or sizzling steak, things like that. How many of you enjoy the simple sounds of cooking ASMR? Whereas, and who doesn't? How many of you don't like the sounds? I'd say more people do enjoy. That's my bet, but I'm interested to hear what you think. Who enjoys? And I'm not talking about like chewing ASMR and eating ASMR. I'm talking about like the sound of water simmering and bubbling, and the sound of cooking the onions and the wiping of, you know, the beater blades and things like that. I think I would bet that more people like it than not. All right. So, hate ASMR, like traditional ASMR, but cooking's fun. Okay. Not my jam, but to be honest, I don't think I ever paid much attention. Okay. I don't mind it, but I just have a thing against metal on metal. Oh yeah, I get that. See, when you come back, you can try a slice. I'll put this one over here for him. Okay. So, basically I need to create cake that fits in this. I'm gonna make a sheet cake for a special project that you can't know about. We're gonna need plain flour, sugar, baking powder, baking soda, butter, okay, and eggs. So that's not all the ingredients we need. They're just ones I'm getting from here. Banana, boom, boom, banana, boom, boom, banana. Okay, plain flour, baking powder, baking soda, some corn. No, not corn flour, just using plain flour because I want to make it slightly denser. That, 3 eggs, 1, 2, 3. Oh, thank you, Nita Burrito. I appreciate it. It's been a project over the last year and a half. We bought this house and then we renovated, ripped out the kitchen and relocated it to here, built a wall and built the kitchen ourselves. My 2 hands. That's an IKEA kitchen, but we installed it ourselves. Okay. I love cooking. I just find it hard to find things I can cook due to food allergies. So I can understand that, Aussie Wheels. What are you allergic to? You were saying you don't eat meat. What other allergies do you have? Do you enjoy cooking sounds? Oh, yeah, read that with the metal on metal. Oh, I just put you a slice there. That was really good English. I put a slice there. Put you a slice there. Does that make sense? I put a slice there for you. I want to say that English isn't my first language. It isn't really, is it? It's more like Molly. Oh my goodness. Still a little bit chewy. I put you a bar there. I put you a bar there. Yes, a bar. No, you said it was not a bar because it was not rectangle, right? Isn't it a square? A chocolate square? All right. Hey Google, set timer for 2 minutes. So.
2 minutes, and that's starting now.
We need 2 bowls. We're gonna speed run this. Not really, because that would be immature. The difference between a cake and a sheet cake is a cake can be anything. A sheet cake is made in a sheet pan. Basically, it's larger portion and it's made a thinner slice, but like a wider, kind of more surface area, okay? So the things we'll need is 3 cups or, well, okay. So at the moment, who has access to our measurements? We said like roughly around 140 grams, 143 grams per cup. I'm looking at the wrong thing. Um, 143 times 3. No. It's about 2.5 cups. Roughly around 2.5 cups. Go. Can't spell them due to my disability, but I am away from the computer too long. My spelling goes down. Oh, I can. Stop. All right. Get your strainer, take it to the sink, and we're gonna strain this, and we're gonna retain some of the liquid, the pasta water. Okay. So what I do is I pour the, working quickly, I put the strainer there, I pour all of the liquid in, and then as it strains, I quickly put my pot underneath so we can retain about 1/2 cup to 3/4 cup of the starchy liquid, the good stuff. Okay. So, we'll make the cake first and then we'll plate up. Cool? Oh, Nita Burrito, what did you go with? I'm tossing up to walking towards upgrading some of my pots and pans. So let me know what you went with because I need suggestions. Okay, we're going with a teaspoon of baking powder, this, and 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. Don't get them mixed up. I've done it a lot of times. I always double check. Baking powder first, baking soda. Scan pan stuff, Harris scarf. 60% off? Is it still on? How many people have scan pan? Is it worth it? Have you had good results with scan pan? And most importantly, are they dishwasher safe? That's all I care about. The Milk Squad, good morning, good evening, and I need to sneeze, afternoon. We have been streaming for 3 hours and 19 minutes. We've done last time on All Things Food, we've made chocolate peanut butter slice bars, squares. We can't decide on what we're gonna call them, everyone's undecided. And then we've made Tuscan chicken. Tuscan chicken. We've made some rigatoni pasta to go with it. And now we're making some sheet cake. Vanilla sheet cake. And that's your 30-second recap. Thank you. Appreciate it. Katasha? How do I say your name? Let me know. Appreciate it. The F word wasn't necessary, but I do appreciate that you're excited about my food. 4 a.m. Are you from Europe? Okay, I need to ask you a question. Very important. Sweden, fuck yeah. Okay, what do you call this? All right, what was your name? And the Milk Squad, you can be involved too. We've got a heated topic. These are chocolate peanut butter things. Would you call this a slice? Would you call it peanut butter bars? Or would you call it squares? What would you call this? Some people are saying slice, some people are saying bars, some people are saying squares. Did anyone say square? Maybe I made it up. But what would you call this? It's basically Rice Krispies or rice bubbles with peanut butter, maple syrup, butter, and peanut butter. Did I say that? Bars, probably. Okay? The difference between bar and a square is only their shape. Yeah. Undecided between a slice and a square. Okay. But more, probably if you got to choose, I won't say like gun to your head because that's a bit way too much. But like if you only could pick one, what would it be? Slice or square? Go. Go, go, go. Really?
Need a burrito. Are you in our Discord? Can you send me the link? We call everything slice. It is delicious. So good. All right. We're doing the things. Now we need sugar. Oh, pressure. I'd go with slice. Thank you. Yeah, if I could put pressure on you right now, what would you say? Sorry to go off topic, but I just got excited about my shipping home. No, don't worry. Don't ever apologize. If we had people apologizing all the time about going off topic, the whole chat would be an apology. I would be streaming the whole time apologizing because I go off topic. Far, and it's not even off one topic. It's like off tangents to not even in the same map. Like that's, if we're driving down a road and I'm going on tangents, like we aren't even on the same map anymore. And it's hard to find our way back. It's really hard, really hard. Do Scampans make any cast iron pots? I need one to make bread. Hell's bells. When you say you want something to make bread, do you want something with a lid? And you're in Australia, right? One. And half cups. Yes. Okay. What kind of bread are you making? I just want to, before I show you what I've got, I just want to see if it's relevant. Because I love mine. I don't have a pizza stone or a cast iron. Okay. This is from Kitchen Warehouse. It's called a Brunswick Baker. See, look, talking about going on tangents. Welcome to my tangent. This is a cast iron bread baker. And it is amazing. I think Exceed got it for me for Christmas last year. I think it was like $130. I think maybe it was on sale, but it is really good. I just lay baking paper underneath. I never wash it, never. It just stays in my oven, the spare oven. And it's really good quality. Big fan. It basically goes from here to the stovetop to cool down and then back in there. It's really good. It's, yeah, Kitchen Warehouse Brunswick Baker. Add a pen. Okay. All right. Into here, we're gonna add butter. Oh no. Blasphemy. It's not pizza if it doesn't have pineapple. Ooh, big call. Controversy in the chat. Does anyone really actually care about pineapple on pizza, or is it just like a meme that everyone just jokes about now? People just like the drama, yeah. Okay. I say eat whatever you want. I think I'm just gonna leave that there. Okay. So that's the dry ingredients. The wet ingredients here. We're going to add trying to find something, 210 grams of oil. olive oil, neutral oil, whatever. Let's go 200. I like olive oil, but I'm only doing that because I want to use butter, and it's a testing recipe. So, I'm not really testing the recipe. I'm testing it for a project. So it's not really, the cake just needs to be there. It's more about what the cake's gonna do. So sometimes, like I'll use like a cheaper ingredient. Molly, don't break it again. It's been gulled up. Oh, the oil pourer, yeah. Okay, Greek yogurt. Sour cream. Whatever. Oh my God, Molly, it's no. Yeah. Yeah, okay, so that's it. It was on the same sale last year as well. Yeah, get it. See? Oh, look, I'm influencing you. I'm an influencer, guys. Okay, 80 grams. Damn it. The thing that irks me about a lot of cooking equipment, anytime you go to like a house, kitchen warehouse, a Robin's kitchen, don't believe the signs. When they go on sale, they mark it up to then go on sale. Like, I bought a set of knives once online. They were $199. About 3 months later, my brother went and got them from a different store, and he said, oh my God, the knives were $499 or $699 down to $199. I said, that's bullshit. I said, I bought them 3 months ago for $199. They're not on sale. That's only the recommended retail, and it's all bullshit, and it like tricks people, and it's shit. It's really, really annoying. That's marketing, baby. Hey chat, can you help me condiment for my egg or rice? I'm apparently out of soy, sriracha, and gochujang. Do you have Cholula? Sriracha? You don't have sriracha? Brunswick Bakers is the name. Yep. Three eggs. Sour cream, Greek yogurt, whatever. Like that. Dry ingredients, wet ingredients. We're gonna add some milk. You do have Cholula? Yes. Then that's all you need, baby. Cholula. I've turned my oven off, haven't I? Yep. Okay. One cup of milk. So you might ask the question before, why I'm using baking powder and baking soda is because I've got Greek yogurt in there, which is gonna react with the baking soda, but then there's not enough there with the reaction with the baking soda and the Greek yogurt to give it a really fluffy result. So that's why I've got some baking powder as well to then react with itself to like add bubbles, add aeration. Have I had this oven? I haven't had that oven on all day. I was thinking that went in the oven and I just turned my oven off recently. I'm losing it, guys. I'm going cuckoo. Losing my mind. Do you have caramelized balsamic vinegar? But you want it with eggs, don't you? Egg on rice for dinner. Beware, all you need is eggs, rice, cheese, grated cheese, and Cholula. Trust me. It'll blow your mind. Okay. Whisking all of this, we want to break up any lumps. This is all of our dry ingredients. Flour, baking powder, baking soda, sugar, and we're going to add some salt. Cuckoo for couscous. That's it. Cuckoo for couscous. What is Cholula? The best hot sauce, the best overall hot sauce. Like, it's so good for like Mexican style food. It's so good. I wish I could buy it in like tubs. I'm looking online. We go through, unfortunately it's like $5 a bottle here, but it's the best Mexican style hot sauce. Coles. You can't get it at Woolies where I am. I have to buy it at Coles. Yeah, you can get it from Australia, but I want to buy it in a bigger container. It's $5 a bottle. Always alone? Welcome in. You're not alone, you're with us now. You're one of us. Come on in. Cholula. It's amazing. So it's like a Mexican style hot sauce. We are making sheet cake. Just like a big cake. Okay. Wet ingredients in there. You can use a blender, like an immersion blender if you want. Going on the shopping list. Sounds delicious. Yes. And this is what we've done recently. This is our Tuscan chicken. Just looking so good. That bottle is $4 where I am. Okay. Okay, so your wet ingredients, your dry ingredients, and then we're just gonna combine them. I'm not one of those fussy people that just wet, dry, wet, dry, wet, dry. I'm not like that. I just mix. Be gentle. Fold. I try and be rough when I'm testing recipes and like real lazy, because then if I can test it and it works and I'm lazy, then if you're following the recipe to a T, then you'll make it even better. Because some of us aren't as detailed as others. So if it works and you're sloppy, like you're rushed, and it works out delicious, it's gonna be even better if you do it the right way. You have a nice looking kitchen, thank you very much. It's very kind of you. I'm a big fan of it. All right, there we go. That's your batter. Good. Alrighty, put this around the back. Baking paper, we need to line the tray. You guys are lovely. Very nice of you. Thank you. Commenting on my kitchen. They appreciate it. The kitchen appreciates it. Okay. Like this. Line it. You could do the whole like trick that I taught you before, but this doesn't really matter because it just fits. Like it doesn't really matter that it's tight, like that it's got proper tight corners. The reasoning for this is why I'm folding it rather than cutting it is the batter is quite runny. And I worry about that running down the sides. It's probably not likely to happen, but I just don't want to risk it. So what I've done
is just pressed it in and just folded the corners like that. Cool? Or folded the corner like that. Because it's very small, it fits quite nicely and I don't have to worry. Whereas the dish that I was using before, there was, like it was way too big, way too much baking paper for the tin. And so that's why I cut it and trimmed it and folded it. Cool? All right. There we go. I buy 1.89 litres of bottle of Cholula. Whereabouts are you in Australia? Whereabouts are you in the world? And can you show me that link? There we go. Put this directly in the sink, rinse it, because it's a bit sticky. Wash your hands. I also need that link. Okay, and then all I do is just do this. As long as it gets in the edges, and I might pull all of the liquid into one side. As long as I let it sit, it'll even out because it's distributed the liquid. Does that make sense? I'm in the UK, but I converted prices and I send the link here or Discord, please. All right. So give it a little shake, a little wobble, goes in the oven. That's easy. That easy. Alrighty. Let's do some pasta. Okay. Yeah? Okie dokie. So, I've got the pasta. Maybe a bit more. Like that. Put the broken ones at the bottom, okay? Beautiful. I like boneless wings. No. Okay, I'm a bit torn. It's one pot. I didn't say anything about bowls. I didn't say anything about bowls. I said it'll be one pot and it'll save you on dishes. And it does, but I just want one bowl. Okay, so that we can do this. Get some of this liquid, this sauce, put it in here. And you're just saucing it around, okay? So much nicer. Okay, then go here. Technicalities, that's it. Doesn't that look nicer? Thank you, Debe, you legend. All right. So good, it's gone blurry. Tell me that ain't bloomin' delicious. Bloomin'? Surely bloomin' is like an Australian word. Bloomin'. Bloomin' heck. Doesn't that look good? Mate, Bloomin'. How do you even spell bloomin'? Bloomineck. It's not blooming. Okay. Paper towel, like this. Get your finger, put it on top, flip it over. Like grab it like that, put your finger there. Fold it in half on your finger, like that. Like that, see? And then you grab this and you work your way around. Just wiping. I'll be wiping, yeah, I'll be wiping. Wiping, wiping, wiping. And then do it again. It just gives you the control, right? If you do it like this, fold it over.
Delicious.
And so then hold it, pinch, pinch. I'm just teaching people how to wipe a bowl. We're playing with napkins, paper towel. Welcome in, littles. How you doing? Hello, everyone. How long have we been streaming if you're rating us? Wipe your bowl, wipe your bowl, wipe your bowl. Okay, welcome in, by the way. My name is Molly. We're making Tuscan chicken. We're wiping our bowls, keep them tidy. We've made some chocolate peanut butter sliced bar squares. So, littles, you're a Kiwi girl. Your community are probably international as well. We want to know your opinion on what you would name this, because there's heavy controversy. I'm making it more dramatic than it is. But what would you call this? These are rice bubbles or Rice Krispies, peanut butter, chocolate, kind of Rice Krispie treat things. Would you call them a bar, a slice, or a square? Rice Krispie treats, but they're kind of not. They're like, well, they kind of are Rice Krispie treats, but with chocolate and peanut butter. Slices, bars, what do we call on them? Like a caramel slice. You would call them a slice, okay. Chocky butter pops. They look amazing, thank you. Rice Krispie treats. Squares, thank you. Because we don't know what to call it on the website. If we call it a square or whatever, but you know what? It's delicious. This is what it looks like. Littles, how was your stream today? Thank you so much for bringing your community over. It's like a healthier version of a chocolate crackle. Dark chocolate. Ooh! I dropped it. And crunchy. Oh yeah. You don't like this? This is not making you hungry? What about this? This is creamy one pot Tuscan chicken with rigatoni. This is what we were wiping before. So if you think the bowl's messy, it's because you interrupted us. I'm kidding, I'm kidding. How was your stream? What did you get up to? Elden Ring. You had a 3-week break. I assumed had some nice time off. It was good. Was your family visiting? Did I read that your family was visiting and that's why you had the break off? Because they came to New Zealand? I'm not stalking you or anything, but I just read Twitter. That's amazing. I hope it was a really fun time. I hope you really enjoyed yourself. She was trying to beat Melania. It was rough. I haven't even attempted Elden Ring, but I hear it's good things, but it's a bit tricky, hey? Well, thank you so much for bringing us. Guys, if you haven't been over and seen Littles, she's one of the most creative Australian New Zealand streamers we've had the pleasure of being friends with and being able to meet through Twitch. And I think that you will like her content. She's very creative, it's very fun. There's a lot of spoofs and crazy cooking, crazy gaming. And yeah, we've the last time I think we were over there was when we did she did the sushi stream. We raided and she was doing the sushi train. Like an actual train with sushi ingredients and stuff. It was chaos. It was good. But please go and send her some love. A little bit of an introduction to who we are, what we do. My husband and I co-create the channel. We're a cooking channel, food related. We make fun, themed food on occasion, but we're all about simple home cooking, showing you how to make quick, easy meals for yourself and your family. or if you're a solo human. We release recipes on our new blog or recipe website, and it's just about really leveling up your skills with some bit of food science, a bit of fun, and a little bit of chaos here as well. So this is a little bit about us. Oh, welcome back. Alrighty. What a night. Oh yeah, it was so good. All right, so we're here. So this is our Tuscan chicken. So it comes in like, you make it in one pot like this, and you can serve it at the table and serve it with some rice, or today we've done pasta. So looks like this. And it serves about 4 people. So on the website, you can actually half the recipe, so then you only make 2 portions, or you can double it or even triple it. It's great for meal prep. Minimal ingredients, and just so good. Ready? Add a little bit of Parmesan on top. See you, Commander Shepherds, thanks for hanging out. Look at that. Great dinner full of protein. So the ingredients that we used, I will let you know. We did, so in here we've got a tablespoon of oil, olive oil, 1 pound or 2 chicken breasts, a teaspoon of paprika, 1/4 to 1/2 teaspoon of chili flakes, teaspoon of salt, 1/2 teaspoon of cracked black pepper, ground black pepper, a brown onion or a yellow onion, 2 garlic cloves, a tablespoon and a half of tomato paste, 1/3 of a cup or 60 to 85 grams of sun-dried tomatoes, a teaspoon of dried oregano, 2 teaspoons of chicken stock powder, 1/2 cup of water, 100 grams of spinach, 1/2 cup of dry white wine, 1/4 cup of cream or Greek yogurt, and some Parmesan cheese. Looks good, hey? Guys, we always say around here that food always looks better spinning. And don't you agree? Look at that. Damn. Amazing. Is it spinning too fast? I think it's spinning too fast. Slow. Slow rotate. Does that slow down? Yes. Yes. Look at that. Guys. Amazing. And then you can also do this. 2 things that we've made today. If you're new to the stream, hit the follow button, come and hang out with us. We stream 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, if you're in Australian time zone, or it is Sunday night, Tuesday night, and Thursday night in North American time zone. Now it's going too slow. It's like watching the home shopping channel. Yeah, you wanna buy this? So recipes are uploaded to missmollymakes.com. We've got a bit of a backlog, so we're working through things. These will probably, that's pretty good. This might need some tweaking, but each week we're aiming to release 1 to 2 recipes, and we're always looking for input, things that you wanna see on there, check it out, and we're open to feedback. I'm planning to be doing a little bit of food science blogs on ingredients that I recommend, products that I recommend, basic learning of what goes on, like why it's important to do, certain things like browning chicken, the Maillard reaction, explaining terminology, and if you think that there's something that you'd like to learn or you'd like to read on the blog, let me know. I'd buy it. Thank you very much. Yes. Are you a chef? I am a self-taught home cook, and
I'm really passionate on believing, I love chefs, my brother's a chef, but I'm really passionate in showing the community that you don't have to have a formal education. You don't have to go to culinary school to make really delicious food. As long as you're improving your skills by practice, the biggest thing that will teach you is actually just cooking and thinking about what happened, what you could do better next time, what you like, the flavors, but also like YouTube videos, reading the blog, coming into streams, things like that. You'll always learn and build on your knowledge. You don't have to put the pressure on yourself. If you love cooking, you don't have to be a chef. I'm so glad I always watch your streams after I've had dinner. Good. Always alone, thank you. If you watch gaming setups, gaming streamers, they'll have some really good rigs and awesome stream rooms and whatnot. This is my stream room. So we've invested time and money and effort into building the kitchen, and I'm really glad that you like it. All right, my cake's looking good. That will come out later. Truth. Yeah. It's more of a simplistic kitchen. It's very, like, if you were in the house, it's very minimal, with the benches and things like that, but I love it. I think it's functional. Yeah, it is. There's a lot of room. A lot of drawers and a lot of space. If you're around here, you'll know I lose things all the time. They go into the wrong drawer. They get moved to one side of the kitchen to the other. So sometimes having more space isn't better. Of course, I always want more, but yeah, things get lost. Or I put things in the different place to my husband. I live in an apartment, so my kitchen is tiny. I live that life, tiny kitchen life. It's hard, isn't it? You got to find things that. My biggest recommendation is appliances like multi-cookers, or like one appliance that does lots of different things, like a pressure cooker, slow cooker, rice cooker, all in one, and being able to use vertical height as well, so that you can stack things on shelves and pack them away, and making the use of more, it gives you more space, because it's really hard. My fridge doesn't even fit in the cavity. Has to live in the garage. Oh no. Oh my goodness. I can only imagine the walking and traipsing around. Yes. We almost bought a fridge at our old house. We almost bought a new fridge until we measured our cavity and it wouldn't have fit. So luckily we didn't. And a year and a half later, we got a new fridge when we moved here. All right. I have a galley style kitchen, so my kitchen is small. Yeah. My fridge has to live in the lounge room. For a long time in our old house, I had a big rack of all my, in the living room, which had my pressure cooker, slow cooker, all my appliances, my props for food photography and stuff, all in the living room because I had nowhere to fit it. And there was just, and then I had a cupboard in another room that had more equipment. You do accumulate stuff when you're a cook, and appliances, you want to use them frequently, but they're really hard to house because they're quite bulky, aren't they? Your stand mixers, and if you've got a rice cooker, pressure cooker, and you want to be using them frequently, and they have to be put somewhere. They don't just fold up into a little box. Or what we all need is one of those, in Harry Potter, the bag, Hermione's bag, that has everything in it, and it's just a handbag. We need one of them. Food and food storage in my linen cupboard, yeah. We do what we do, yeah, that's it. That's it. And it's very often and common that we compare ourselves with other people, and you're always wanting more and rather than being content with what you've got. And I've got a brand new kitchen, and then sometimes with Instagram and social media, you're like, oh, design my kitchen like that, or I wish I did that, or I can't wait for my next house and have that. But it's like, no, I love this. I'm very grateful. And you've got to practice that gratitude and doing what you've got, using it to the best ability, and not getting caught up in having like an Instagram house. It needs to be functional, right? It needs to be able to, not be pretty and clean all the time, because that's not reality. You just gotta like do with what you've got and live in that kind of moment. All right. Totally. My kitchen is about the same size as my most recent one, but it is so much better laid out. One of the under counter cabinets has a lazy Susan. Oh, and that's where my appliances live. It works really, that's awesome. That's really great. I've always thought that really by living in different houses and different kitchen styles, designs, sizes, it really gives you an appreciation for then when you get the opportunity to design your kitchen or build or move, you can and by even visiting friends and family, then you can design, you get a little bit of that and you take a little bit of that and you leave that, and then you can figure out what's more functional for you. And also, like once you move into a house, not being afraid to move things around. Just because you put the knife and forks here, doesn't mean they need to stay there. You can put the knife and forks on that end, or you can move stuff around to make it more functional. Like originally we put our mugs and coffee cups here, but then you had to walk all the way around to the other side to make coffee. So then we moved that there. And then slowly over time, I've been moving stuff around. So recently I told you guys I did this. So I've got a drawer inside a drawer, and because everything was getting cluttered in here, so now I have more space and I'm a little bit more organized. Everything has its own area and it's a lot tidier because it has its own little kind of cube to go in. And stuff that I don't really use as often sits here and just makes it more tidy. Or in this drawer, I have all my knives. So the knives sit in these. There's no knives in there at the moment, but I have 3 of them. And then I also have another pull-out drawer on top, which I don't use as regularly, but it has things like pens and texters, or what do you call them? We call them texters. You would call them a marker, a stapler for any time I ever need a stapler, a timer, which I never use, scalpels so that I can like cut my bread, like meant to be, but it's not here as a ruler, and just other things, just making it more tidy. These are drawers from IKEA. The whole kitchen is from IKEA, except for the stone. And just the great thing, I love to scream the IKEA praises. The hardest thing is the ordering process, but the functionality, like you can change the drawers around, and I just love it. I love it, love it, love it. It was a lot cheaper than getting a cabinet maker to do as well. There's some things where I'll do better, design better next time, but I love it. X fucking screws me with that drawer in a drawer. What do you mean, Luke? Troy, hidden. Yes, so that's my little demonstration. Yeah, the way that I look at it, because it used to make me uncomfortable, and I'm very grateful for this kitchen, but people coming in and saying, oh, that's a great kitchen, and I used to think that it was I was showing off because I have this kitchen, and we worked really hard for it, but it's also it's a just like another streamer has like a fancy PC or a streaming setup with lights and things like that. This is our streaming setup. All right, this is my sheet cake. So nice and even color-wise distribution as well. There's a bit of an air pocket here, but that's no worries. Here you can see there's a little bit of speckled. I don't know if it's easy to see, but I just want to show you what's going through my mind.
is there's little air pockets here, little holes. It means that the sugar wasn't dissolved enough, so it's kind of popping through. That's no problem. I'll just change the method. But it looks really good. It's quite even. Color distribution is quite nice, and looks like a good sheet cake. Smells nice. It's gonna be good. All right. So I want to know, what is your dish of the day? DOTD. Now is your time to vote. Dish of the day. Are you team pasta, one pot chicken, or are you team slice bars squares? Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Is that just a visual impact, or does it affect the flavor? The sugar dissolving, primarily it just affects the look of it. It's not a massive deal. But it's just something to be aware of when I'm recipe testing, that I might need to take a moment to mix the sugar into the liquid first before I add the rest of the dry ingredients. Can we be team both if you want to be team both? But you can be team one or the other. Thank you for explaining, no worries. If you have any questions about stuff that I say or that I'm doing, feel free to ask. I'm usually a open book, and I'll explain. It gives me a great opportunity to explain stuff that I don't realize. Sometimes I just kind of keep talking, and it's good if you guys stop me. Oh. So slow. I'm team chicken, but in real life, I'd be smashing the slice for dessert. Nice. I only just got here. I'm gonna go with the chicken pasta. Fabulous. Thank you. So that is the slice, like that. Peanut butter chocolate slice. And this. One pot Tuscan pasta. Well, yeah, the recipe doesn't include the pasta, but you can serve it with rice as well, which is really, really nice. Alrighty. Oh, maybe he's awake this time. Stace, are you around? Is Iffy there? Iffy is doing an uncapped subathon, and he's on day 11. I don't understand it. 240 hours plus. Damn. Damn. I spelled it OFF. Yeah, right? It's crazy. He's a crazy man. Okay. Hold on, I spelled his name wrong. Okay. Hopefully that worked. Yes. All right. So we will be back on Friday. Sunday. We're making satay udon noodles. So we're going to be making like a really simple, you can use the same recipe to make ramen, peanut butter ramen too. We're going to do like a satay udon noodles with lemon meringue bars, lemon meringue slice. But I'm going to be showing you how to make my shortbread and then topping the shortbread with lemon curd, or we could do lemon passion fruit, up to you. And then we're going to make a meringue topping. It's going to be delicious. Thank you everyone for being here. Thank you for being so active in chat, asking questions, getting involved with our discussion topic today. I hope you have a fantastic week, and jump in Discord. If you haven't, hit the follow button. We're going to jump and raid Iffy. So please copy and paste our raid call message. Thank you everyone who has
supported the stream today through cheering, often cheering, tipping, subbing. Margot, just the one single sub. Thank you, Margot. And the lovely raid from Liddles. Thank you for bringing your community over. But this week, merch orders, heaps of merch orders went out. So thank you for the order. See you guys. Take care. Brush your hair. Be good to yourself and those around you.